down in
All
Dallas too. So
it's I haven't been there in a long time. Anyway, we were just having a little chat amongst ourselves before we started the show. So welcome to American Hammers TV. Welcome to what did I call it? West Ham Weekend Kickoff. That's a clever name. Anyway, we're glad you're here. Going to be a nice, peaceful, quiet show tonight. Probably not going 3 hours tonight, but we're glad you're here with us. A couple of things. First off, if you would be kind enough to visit our store, ahtv.threadless.com. You know what? Somebody made a banner. Here it is. Look at this. There it is. ahtv.threadless.com. See, Tim is back doing stuff for the channel, which means stuff's actually getting done. This is, you can get all kinds of good stuff. You can get West Ham branded stuff. It's not official, but it still says West Ham on it. You can get shirts from your supporters group. You can get shirts that are funny and silly and ridiculous and have player themes and stuff like that. Or you can get anything you want. You can get like shower curtains. You can get printed like framed prints. You can get American Hammers TV stuff if you really want it. So it helps us keep the channel going. Believe me when I say we don't make any money off of this. We're just trying to keep it going sort of week to week, month to month, and this is what really helps us a lot. So he's made a bunch of banners. Look at this. This was Tim's on another rant. Okay, that's funny. All right. I've never looked at these before. Look at this. I've never looked at these. I've never even. Oh, look at this. What's this? I don't even know what that means. What am I cheating on? Okay.
Hey, Neil. How you doing?
This is for when somebody uses the word soccer. We say, no, football. All right. That's enough of the banners. Sorry, I got carried away with the banners. Hey, Neil, it's good to see you. All right. The other thing I wanted to tell you about before we get rolling is my own personal thing, okay? Not an American Hammers TV thing. Just my thing. My buddy Ensa, a young man in the Gambia who has started a club called West Ham United Gambia Football Club. He has 70 kids. He has an under 15 team and an under 7 team.
Sorry, I know you meant he had 70 kids under his in his program.
He's 16 years old, and you just wouldn't believe it. Right, exactly. No, he has 70 kids in the club. The prepositional phrase there at the end is pretty important. 70 kids in the club. He is 16 years old. He's running this club all by himself. I talk to him almost every day, and we've developed a nice friendship. He's a really hardworking guy. He loves West Ham, and he's trying to get these kids an opportunity to, play football, to showcase their talents, to have something to do, basically. And I have been raising money for him, and we've had a lot of generous donations. We have bought 13 pairs of boots so far for the kids. I think 13 is right. I think 8 with the first round and 5 with the second. We bought 12 balls with a pump. We bought 12 pennies. I don't know if you call them that in England, Tom. The things that you put on in training, the little things you put on in training. Bibs, right? We call them pennies. It's the same thing. We bought 12 bibs. We've bought some cones to lay out on the training pitch. I can't remember what else, but anyway, we've gotten a lot of good stuff.
Basically, you're a good fucking guy.
Well, I'm not a good guy, but I'm trying to do something good for somebody who is working very hard on a very worthwhile project. So I'm going to pop this link into the chat. This is the Gofundme link, and I know some of you have given, and I really appreciate what you've given. I want you to know that it has not gone to waste. It has gone to gear for these kids, and we will be buying more and more. These kids were out there practicing in like flip flops. They didn't have proper boots for football. They didn't have anything really. So I'm just trying to supply them as much as I can, and help and help Ensa, who's a really good dude. And I'm going to send him this video. I don't think he's up right now. He's 4 hours ahead of us, so doesn't stay up all night the way Tom does, for instance. But
I'll have you know, I'm only staying up for you. I feel like
I know. I appreciate it because everybody bailed on me tonight.
I have COVID and I haven't bailed on you. So
well, you can't go anywhere. That's why. Maybe you can now. I don't know actually.
No, we can. We literally can. Even if you've got COVID, you can go out. So.
Oh well, we might. I tell you, I just got a message from Kostya. He might be dropping in on us, and that would be great. So, Anyway, we're gonna keep it relatively chill tonight. So to my next to me on the screen. So I always point the wrong way. I got it right this time. Okay, next to me on the screen from the south side of Chicago, it's Phil. How you doing, Phil?
Hey, doing fine. How's everyone going? Hope everyone's doing well. Crappy weather today in Chicago.
I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear. We had a beautiful day in Boston, really lovely. And I have to say, yes, Neil, I went to the barbershop.
Oh, yeah,
I went to the barbershop. I got a trim. All right, the trim is a little hard to see.
I have a longer beard than you.
Yes, I got a trim, and I got it professionally done. Okay, at the barbershop. That is home team haircuts in Chelmsford, Mass. In case you are nearby, good people there. Go check them out. They don't pay me to say that. I'm just saying that. And down on the bottom of the screen there, unable to control his fit. He's caught the deadly pandemic. So he's quarantined with his girlfriend now. It's Tom. How you doing, Tom? Other than COVID, how you doing, Tom?
Yeah, I'm better than I was like 2-3 days ago. I was really bad.
I hope you're not suffering because I know it can be rough. Seriously.
Yeah. To be fair, this is my first time. I've managed to escape it the entire pandemic, and we went up to Scotland for a few days, and it seems to be the likely thing is coming back. And we were very careful. We wore masks absolutely everywhere, but it is what it is. You're going to get it. So yeah, Rebecca's a couple of days behind me, so she's really bad at the moment. She's currently in a room, feels like someone's sitting on her chest.
I'm so sorry.
So yes, my throat is still, it's not 100% better, but it's just like coughing stuff. So yeah, it's no joke. Like I said, I've managed to avoid it for 2 years. And
have you had it, Phil? Have you had it, Phil?
Yeah. So I got it while working at the hospital. So
that makes sense. Yeah. Both my sons had it and my wife had it, and my mother and I never got it, or at least never tested positive for it. So we had it in the house like back in January, February, but we somehow avoided it, which is great. I'm glad I avoided it. I don't know how I avoided it, but we did.
Rebecca, she's lucky. This is her second time. So she got it at the start.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, she got it at the start, and now she's got it now. But
that's really bad luck.
That's brutal.
Yeah, because you get like 6 months of immunity or something like that.
I was beginning to think there was an article the other day.
3 to 4.
The government over here are looking for people, it seems, that haven't had it, because you may be the key to unlocking, everybody else from stopping getting it. You may be like the superhuman antibodies. And I was reading this before we went away, and then we came back, and I was quite disheartened because I thought, I'm never going to get it. and then
but can you get paid now to be like a lab rat or something?
No, I think you could have done before if you hadn't had it, and now I can't.
So, now you. Oh, I see. So you've got it now. So you're no longer of value to science.
He's a normie like us.
He's just like the rest of us now. He's just a normal schmuck. He's just another guy. All right. Well, I don't think. Mark. Unless you guys really want to, I don't think we have to super duper rehash what could have been a real debacle, honestly, against Lyon.
No, we got to rehash that.
Well, okay. Yeah. All right. So can we just start with our friend, Monsieur l'Arbitre, as they would say in French, the referee, quite literally banned for taking a bribe some years ago in Germany. A secret ban, by the way, top double secret probation, like what was that, Animal House, right? Double secret probation. They didn't publicize it until some German newspaper outed it like years later, that he had received a 6-month ban for taking a €300 bribe. How much do these guys get paid? I mean, how little did they get paid? That €300? It's like, yeah, I'll take it.
It was a Bundesliga 2 division or something like that. So it wasn't.
That's true. It was Bundesliga 2, and he was part of a scandal that involved another official who I think was more of the ringleader. But nevertheless, this is a guy who was convicted and banned for taking bribes, and he's in charge of a Europa League quarterfinal. That's absolutely astonishing to me. Although, really, if you look at the level of corruption in FIFA and UEFA, I guess it shouldn't be a surprise.
I mean, this isn't his first time being put on blast this isn't his first time being put on blast this season. I believe Jude Bellingham, after the Bayern Dortmund match, he literally called him out and said this dude's been corrupt before.
Yeah.
And he got a 40,000 euro fine for it as well.
Yeah.
Why he should never have gotten that.
Well, Jude Bellingham spoke the truth. I mean, I got to say, I'm a big admirer of Jude Bellingham.
Apparently, Lucas is in the waiting area, I believe.
Oh, he is? Oh, yeah. What's this? He said he could. Oh, look! What a surprise!
Lucas,
howdy.
Where are you, man?
Howdy.
Where are you? Baltimore?
I'm still in Austin.
Oh, you're in Austin. Nice.
Austin.
Wait, you're in Austin as opposed to Alston, which is a neighborhood in Boston. So, all right.
I'm going to pick up dinner. Thought I'd stop in for a few.
Where are you going for dinner?
Oh, we're going to Shake Shack.
Okay. Let me just stop you right there.
Don't know what that is.
You are in a city. Okay, Shake Shack is good. All right, it's good. It's like burgers and shakes. I like it. No, I like it.
Listen, I already know where you're going with this, and I've been trying, and it just hasn't been
okay, Mexican
working
food
in the plans.
Mexican food or barbecue?
Well,
Chewy's. Is Chewy's still in Austin? Because Chewy's was really good many years ago, but I haven't been to Austin in like decades. So
I was supposed to go down to
Austin,
but then I thought I caught COVID again.
Oh, you're supposed to go
for a buddy's bachelor party, and I thought I caught COVID right before the trip, so I couldn't even go. I was so pissed.
A bummer. Oh, that sucks. Well, Tom won't be going to Austin anytime soon either because he's got COVID now. So. he is also banned from Austin. Austin's a lot of fun. I love Austin. But Lucas, you're not doing Mexican food or barbecue, either one?
I've been trying. It just hasn't fell in the plans.
Dude, you can make the plans, all right? You how long are you down there?
I've been down here now for
all right, long enough that you don't know.
2 weeks.
Okay, if I went to Maryland and I didn't have crab cakes, what would you say to me?
I mean, it depends on how much time you have, but I'm a believer. If I have a day left, there's still plenty of time.
Okay, go get Mexican food. Okay, go. I'll tell you what. I see a taco
truck right there. I'm trying to get some.
I'm gonna ask my friend.
My boy's loafing.
My friend Tiffany lives in Austin. All right, we grew up together. She's lived down there for many years. I'll ask her where you should go. Okay, she'll know where to go. All right, so we have a convicted corrupt official in charge, and then we have Lyon out there on skates, looking like Bambi on ice. Every player they have, twisting, turning, falling. Can I just tell you, first of all, Saint Etienne got absolutely walloped today in a relegation 6-pointer. They lost 6-2. It was a disaster.
Oh yeah,
I'm in a little bit of a bad mood over that. But let me just say, as a Saint Etienne fan for many years, do you understand a little bit now the hatred of Lyon? I mean, this is just a galling, no pun intended, a galling club. The little wink
will live in infamy. If they lose the second leg to us, that wink is going to live in infamy, and I'm going to enjoy every bit of it.
Well, I want to get everybody's thoughts on this, okay? Here's how I feel. Oddly confident. Because I think even though we didn't play particularly well...
I'll have to walk in and get my food real quick, so if I don't respond, I will respond.
Don't worry. Do what you need to do. Yeah, do what you need to do. Even though we didn't play all that well on Thursday, I think we were the better team. And I think we'll win next Thursday. Because I think we're fundamentally better than they are, especially if Lanzini comes back, which I believe he will. I think we missed him. I know we'll probably have to switch Johnson to the left and maybe bring in Sufal on the right, but I don't think that's a huge, I don't think it's a big downgrade. That game on Thursday could have been a complete disaster. We had a sending off that seemed unjustified, a full half with 10 men. We had pitch invaders. I mean, the whole thing just had a sour tone about it. But we managed to come out of it with a draw. We managed to come out of it with all to play for in Lyon. And by the way, as you know, away goals don't mean anything anymore. So I feel pretty good going into France. What do you guys think? How do you guys feel? Phil, what do you think? What's your impression?
So right now, if you had offered me...
This is funny. I'm sorry. I don't know if that's your real name or not, James. If it is, I apologize, but it's just a little bit funny. Okay.
Looking at if you had offered 1-1 going into Lyon next week before the kickoff, everyone would have taken it, I think, because I think for a few people, the thought was Lyon has a bit more talent than West Ham. And so the feeling was just a little bit more, not that it was a big gap, but just enough to maybe make them the odds-on favorite.
They're very experienced in Europe, too. They've got a lot of European experiences that we don't have. Yeah.
But the performance, it wasn't great, but you saw moments where you really thought, hey, West Ham could have really taken advantage, and had we had better finishing, maybe we get a bit more lucky. Despite everything that went against us, we come out 1-1. That should give West Ham a lot of confidence, because I don't think we're going to get that referee again.
No, I don't think we will either. Confidence and surely a sense of, purpose.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like revenge, like, the wink, the red card, everything about it just set up. You really.
But you have to be careful with that. I think that's the one thing you have to be careful of. You don't want to see, pardon the pun, you don't want to see red going into the next match, trying to get focused on getting revenge, and you lose the plot. If West Ham keep their emotions in check, and if they stick to their game, which is going to be countering, because Lyon is going to dominate possession,
and Lyon need to score, because it's away goal doesn't mean anything, so they need to score. It is a level tie. They can't just sit back. They have to attack.
And what did we do well? There was one thing: we hit them on the counter. Very well. Minus the pitch of Invader towards the end, which.
Well, I mean, honestly, I don't want to.
Quick question.
Has
anyone heard anything about who they actually was? Because I saw a post trying to out who he was, and they were about to destroy this kid until they realized it was the wrong one.
I've seen a lot on Twitter, and I have to tell you, I don't want to speak to any of it, because I just don't know what's true and what's not.
Right. That's why
I don't want to ruin somebody's life who doesn't deserve it and didn't do anything wrong.
No, I saw the one name that's been bandied about, that Croucher kid or whatever, that is 100% him. He even owned up to it, because he put a statement out on his Instagram where he's like, "Oh, I really apologize." Whatever.
Did he put it on his own Instagram? So
he was a West Ham fan.
He admitted it.
So, he was a West Ham fan as well. Yeah.
Okay. See, there were rumors going around that he was Chelsea.
That was all bullshit. He was a West Ham. There was a picture of him. He got thrown out the other week when we played against Wolves for fighting amongst the own West Ham fans.
Oh, he got thrown out of our match.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? I got a lot of words to say about that, but I want to keep it.
Wait, I got to excuse this now. Here we go.
There we go.
Not you, Tom. I'm talking about the rumors here, but I'm using these banners are going to start popping up now, so be ready.
Oh, these banners are going to work out perfect.
These banners are amazing. All right.
But Neil, yes, you are right. Dawson played brilliantly. He really played brilliantly. He's repaid that $2 million fee.
Oh, my goodness.
So many times over. And I think, for all the criticism we've given West Ham on transfers, this is one of the ones where you have to sit back and just.
They took a guy from a relegation club, and you remember when we signed him, he didn't play for a long time. Or when we brought him in, I not really signed him on the permanent deal, but we signed him on the loan deal, original loan deal. It was months before he played, and I forgot he played for us at all. And then all of a sudden he came in due to some injuries, and I know he's had some ups and downs, but this season he's been fantastic. He was fantastic yesterday, and he needs a song. And the song is going to be that, what were they called? The Proclaimers? I would walk 500 miles. Remember that one? I would pay £2 million, and I would pay $2 million more to see Craig Dawson make a tackle so the other side can't score. That's what I came up with. Right, exactly. So if you could just go to my Twitter and retweet that, that would be great.
Oh yeah, I will.
We'll get him a song. I think it's pretty decent. I think it's easy to sing. It's pretty decent. So that's what we're doing for Craig Dawson. No, I'm with you though. Absolutely fantastic. £2 million is not even an academy player these days. So what he's done for us is tremendous. Lucas, while you're walking and talking, what do you think? Are you confident for next Thursday? I'm kind of confident for next Thursday. Probably famous last words.
After what transpired, I know you were talking about it before I cut out. And really, I'm trying to have a good rest of my day, so I'm not going to talk about it because it'll get me worked up.
Right.
Yeah, I think we're going to do them in on Thursday. I really do. And I'm never that optimistic.
I'm never that optimistic either, but it could change, but my feeling at the moment, approximately 24 hours.
In the situation and like how they are, the play style that we're going to have to play suits us so incredibly well.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I
really, or continue.
No, go ahead.
And I was going to say, even with Cresswell out, we all love Cresswell, but in my opinion, he still hasn't really been that good for, 3-4 months, in my opinion. I mean, he had a free kick goal and a free kick assist, and that's really like the only notable things I can think of. His defending still isn't that great. I don't think he's going to be that big of a miss, but he is like the third captain on the pitch. So we'll miss him there, but
I think he's a miss. I do, but if Sufal is ready, I like him going forward. I think Ben Johnson is competent as a left back. I do not want to see.
I like him defensively better than Cresswell left back.
Well, I kind of do too.
Yeah.
By the way, I want to say,
well, may I stop you right there, simply for the fact that Johnson was at fault for the goal.
Half a second, I'll let you speak, Tom.
Well, yeah, I know. I tweeted he was shit the other day.
Larry, who just checked in from Alabama, Larry just donated to my friend Ensa and the kids in the Gambia. Thank you very much, Larry. I appreciate that a lot. All right. Thank you very much. Anybody else wants to? I'll pop the link in again in a few minutes. Okay, Tom, my apologies. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say Johnson was at fault for their goal, but.
Well, I mean, okay, that's fair.
You can say that, yeah, but
it was the first time he's ever gone up against a player like that, so I feel like next time.
Oh no, Lucas, don't say that. Come on, Brownie. He plays
I
better
just feel
people
like
in the
that was
Premier
an
League each week.
unfortunate situation.
He plays better people in the Premier League each week.
But Fredericks, at the end of the day, he was in no man's. He was in a bad situation. Yeah. If he doesn't try to put in, if he tries to clear it, he miskicks it on goal. If he doesn't touch it, you have Dembele, I believe, who was just ghosting in behind him. That could have been a tap in. It's one of those unfortunate situations. That's the way I see that goal as.
It was Keystone Cops, wasn't it? Really? I mean, it just looked like a total panic at the back for us in that moment.
I mean, it was really no one's fault besides Johnson, in my opinion. Fredericks really had a double-edged sword in this situation.
Well,
he was either going to let it go across the line, or he was going to clear it right into two people behind, and that could have went into the goal.
So say this. Let me just say this.
Catch-22.
We could appeal Aaron Cresswell's red card. I do not think it'll be rescinded. That almost never happens.
They won't rescind that.
They won't rescind that. No, they never.
You can't rescind it anyway.
Well, then it's a moot point. So point is, we're not going to have Cresswell.
Is it because it was a straight red instead of a double yellow, Tom?
UEFA's rule is basically that whatever the referee makes on the pitch is.
If you have a match fixing, see you next Tuesday. Right. You just follow what he says.
When UEFA puts out a corrupt official.
Not corrupt. He's a criminal.
Right. When UEFA puts out somebody who's actually taking bribes, then his decision stands, and there's nothing you can do about it. So we're not going to have Cresswell. That's the whole point. But I mean, surely, Ben Johnson, while young, a little bit inexperienced, has surely, to me, been good enough to be a competent left back, well enough to play. What would you rather do? I mean, we're not going to mention that other name, are we?
No.
The other left back.
My ideal lineup for Thursday, and I think it's fucking beautiful and smart, if I do say so myself.
A little bit like you, Lucas. Beautiful and smart. That's what I always say when you come on the show.
And full of it.
All right, what's your ideal lineup? Tell us.
Yeah, I'll say it real quick because I'm about to go back inside and eat, and then I'm gonna go get hammered.
Yeah,
somewhere.
Good.
But
good for you. Good
I
for
would
you.
go.
There we go.
I would go with 3-4-3, 3 in the back. Not too far off from what we normally do. 3 in the back, 5 in the back, whatever the hell you want to slice it. I'm calling it 3 in the back because there's no wing backs.
Right.
I would go.
Right.
I would go Johnson at left back, or not left back, left center half. Dawson center half. Zuma right center half. Ariel and goal, obviously.
Yeah.
Then I would have Fornals out wide, Suchek and Rice in the middle, Sufal as the right mid out wide, or Fredericks, whoever. It doesn't really matter. I'd rather have Sufal.
I'd rather have Sufal.
Fredericks has had a really good string of games. And then I would do Benrahma, Antonio, Bowen on the wing. And say if it's not working out, all you literally have to do is drop Sufal back to right back, and you can either run a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1.
So are you if Lanzini's healthy, you don't want to see Lanzini out there? Because I think Lanzini could have been
in my ideal system, no. Plus, we need an impact sub, and Fornals is not an impact sub.
Lanzini's more of an impact sub. That is true.
Yeah.
Kostya, welcome. How you doing?
I'm great, Lee. I'm glad to see you. It's been a minute, so thought I would pop in.
Yeah, glad you're here.
Thank you for having me.
We were just talking about
heading out.
I'm about to, but I was going to ask my two favorite opinionated people what they thought about my lineup.
Who is that? Tom and Kostya? Not me.
That'd be Tom and Kostya.
There you go. All right, you go first.
I want to hear Tom first. I want to hear Tom.
All right, well you go first.
I want to see if he's going to be like, this man knows ball.
By the way, Tom is heroically still vaping despite having COVID, and I have to say,
yes, absolutely fucking.
I admire your commitment to your craft.
He is a bad boy.
I think we all know he is. I think we all know. We've seen enough of him on here to know that he is nothing but trouble. And
man needs his nicotine. I like it, but I've got to agree with Lee in the sense that I think Lanzini is too much of a miss. And the one thing I picked up from the other day was that when we're on the counter-attack, Benrahma at times can be selfish in as much as his end product isn't as good as the others. And I think when we counter-attack against him, it's not necessarily about having the most speed in the world, but it's about the precision of our balls into the final third. And I just think Lanzini knits that together a little bit better than Benrahma does. Plus, I do like Benrahma as a sub. With the amount that they push their fullbacks forward in that formation, I think we should have, especially in the first 45 minutes, I almost feel like we gave them too much respect. And I think especially in those first 20 minutes when they were sort of passing it around our back four, I would have liked to have seen this counter-attack with a little bit more potency and a bit more oomph. And for me, when Benrahma had those chances, his end product isn't good. Yes, he can pull off a flashy pass for a good sort of through ball now and again, but I just think Lanzini would work better in that scenario. I just think you need a good number 10.
I agree. We just need one of them. We just need Benrahma or Lanzini off the bench because once you bring Fornals off the bench, it's really there's no
point.
Only
problem
in my opinion
is although Fredericks is good and Sufal is good, I feel like Fredericks has to be the play because I don't know what you guys saw on your sort of different telecasts and stuff you have over there, but on BT Sport, David Moyes said the reason that he picked Fredericks was because he wanted to deal with Toko Ekambi if he started. So I don't know if you guys had seen that. So if that's the case and Ekambi's fully fit in the second leg,
I would keep playing Fredericks just off the strength. I mean, his last two matches, including the last match, have been brilliant.
I think it's a bit of an arse to just throw Sufal back in when he wasn't exactly at his best before he got injured against a very physical, fast opponent like Ekambi. So I haven't actually said what I thought of the game the other day, or you guys are all very confident. I'm not very confident at all. I think obviously we were. I do think we were dealt a shit blow. I don't necessarily think it's the corruption from the ref, but it's just a shocking referee. I think is what it is. But I always felt like we.
Well, can you not be corrupt anymore, even though you've been.
Oh no,
convicted?
I don't think he's corrupt. I just think he's shit at his job. I think that's what it
know,
is.
No, he's
But
a
he is.
criminal. He is a criminal.
Porque no los dos. He could be both. He could be both.
He is.
Yeah.
But I still, and I know we were dealt a shit hand, but I would have loved to have gone there. If the red card wasn't a thing, I'd have loved to have gone there with a goal lead, because I think they can just. The one thing that will benefit is the fact that they do push their fullbacks forward and they will be susceptible on the counter attack. But we've got to show greater, like I said, potency on the counter attack, because I don't think we did that in the first. There was a couple of times when Dawson hit a long ball through to Ben Rama, and like you've got to make those chances count, because this, it's top level stuff here. That was gifted. It felt like,
yeah.
But yeah, I worry that over 90 minutes over there with their atmosphere, their fans, etc. I just think will it be too much for some of our players that haven't been in that position before? Fans. I don't know.
They're shameless support.
I mean, do they have like famous support?
Yeah, they're not famous support, but their fans are fucking wildly stupid. They've already been kicked out of the French Cup this year for their fan behaviour, and they've also been docked points. And weren't allowed to travel to away games because of the fight with Marseille earlier in the season.
You know what? That happens a lot. That happens a lot in France, though. I mean,
that's just the French. They're just
well,
silly.
I think it's two different things. I mean, one, they like to pretend to be hooligans, and two, they really do. Two, their league is a little more sensitive to that stuff, I think, personally. So that's my take on it. I'm not scared of them. All right. To be honest with you. I'm not scared of their fans. I mean, I've seen their fans. I've been around their fans.
But no, Lucas, even if I didn't agree with you, I would always say ball.
I love you. I love you, man.
So Kwastia, in the Boston accent, Kwastia, what? Give us your thoughts about everything.
I've heard that before. That made me feel like I was at home again.
I was gonna say you were. You're a traitor today, though, with that shirt.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Although I love New York, so I don't care.
It's just a generic. I don't even know.
I love New York too.
I wasn't thinking about my outfit when I came on. Just wanted something warm. Before I say anything, I just want to say nice to meet you, Phil. I saw your piece on you're from Chicago, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that was really cool. I thought that was one of the better
never says that about
PL
me,
in the USA pieces on someone. Like that was a really cool thing.
Yep.
So it's cool to actually meet you digitally anyway.
I forgot you guys didn't know each other. Forgive my rudeness.
No, but I mean, I know of Phil. Phil doesn't know me, but I knew of Phil because of that PL in the USA profile that they did on him. And
he never said that about me, Phil, so count yourself lucky.
And well, it's rude for me to introduce you to people, Tom. That's why it works differently with you. Anyway,
Tom, we know I'm a big fan of yours. I hope you know that.
Everybody loves Tom.
It feels weird.
Everybody loves Tom, but mainly because of his girlfriend. But everybody loves Tom too.
No, I like Tom separate from Rebecca. He's his own human being, and I see him as an individual. And I don't immediately think of Rebecca when I think of Tom. But it takes about 5 seconds, and then it kicks in.
Tom and Rebecca are the same to me. When I think of them, I cringe a little bit, and I get angry. I love them.
Concerning the lineup that Lucas has, I don't think it's a bad idea. It's a little different than what I would do, but what's weird is I've totally flipped on having a back three or a back five. We did really well with that last year and then during the COVID season. But I feel like when we revert to that, we're not as good at it anymore. Like I don't think we've had the kind of success when we have had to do that. And when we have done it, I can't remember which club we played, but it was almost like we were playing for a draw type of thing.
Yeah.
And we're just not quite as adventurous when we do it anymore. So I don't know if I would do that. But I also tend to have unique takes on this. So what I'm about to say, I think most people wouldn't agree with. And so I'll just say it, which is that I would start Arthur Masuaku. And the reason I do that is because
my COVID.
He
I'm having
hasn't
a Fred Sanford. I'm having a Fred Sanford over here, Kostya.
he hasn't played in a while, so he's got to be fit, ready, and motivated to prove himself.
But is he any good, Tom? I mean, Kostya, is he any good? I'm sorry, I'm so used to talking to Tom, disagreeing with Tom that I just went straight to him.
I missed that. Who should start?
Arthur Masuaku should start, and let me tell you why, Phil. Let me tell you why. Let me explain.
You're on real thin ice here, Kostya.
Let me explain why Arthur Masuaku should start.
Okay, can I retort and say why he shouldn't start?
I think that
yes, you can speak for the group. Yes,
I think that when you start Arthur or when you start Ben Johnson at left back, you're taking a risk no matter what. I think Lucas would say this, even though I'm a huge Ben Johnson guy. And I give Lucas a little bit of shit when he criticizes Ben Johnson, but I think he has a point that Ben Johnson looked shaky on the goal where basically it's an own goal from Fredericks. On that one Lyon goal, Johnson's positioning is questionable. Now, Arthur's positioning would probably have been equally questionable, right? But I think that Arthur by default has the advantage of being left-footed. He's faster than Johnson is. He can actually whip in across from the left side, which Ben Johnson is really hesitant about. And I would actually say no to both Soufal and Fredericks and put Ben Johnson where he's supposed to be, which is at right back. Other than that, I agree with the lineup, but I would have just the traditional four at the back. But there's a lot of like really, really big question marks that make it like it's almost impossible to kind of predict this thing because we're very much in the dark about, well, Masuaku's recovery. We're in the dark about Soufal's recovery. And we really don't know, like, is Lanzini okay after that car crash?
Yeah, that does worry me.
Yeah. As a club, we tend to like be very secretive about injuries and like how long it's going to take for people to recover. And so, like, you know,
who is this? Who is this?
It's Millwall Rob.
I don't know this guy.
Welcome, Rob.
All right, Rob.
How's the second division doing you?
I was gonna say, yeah. You know what? I mean, let's face it. We hardly ever play Millwall anymore. So,
Millwall have a chance at promotion. They're not.
I know they do. I know. I've been following. I'll tell you what. I've been following them not because they're Millwall, but because I believe Kenny Brown still works with Millwall. Kenny Brown came on our show. Okay, a couple of years. The first ex-West Ham player we ever had on the show was Kenny Brown, and he was a great guy, great guy. And he's with Millwall, and so even though I have many reasons not to like Millwall, obviously I do like Kenny Brown. So I wish him well, Rob. Anyway,
I don't know what. So Millwall Rob put in a yeah. I don't know what that's about.
Oi!
I don't know if that's about us Americans or whatever, but
I think that's because you are American.
Rob, I was a West Ham fan like 6-7 years before that movie even came out.
And it's like, no, I don't want to talk about Elijah Wood, the Hobbit, as a hooligan. I'm sorry. That isn't going to make that has no business making somebody a West Ham fan.
I've been supporting West Ham since about 2015, and I watched Green Street for the first time maybe 2 years ago.
I mean, it's not a bad movie.
It's not a good movie, but it's entertaining. It's entertaining. It's not a good
movie. It's a movie that's so bad it's good, and if you watch any of the sequels,
those are horrible.
No, I didn't watch sequels. No, I didn't watch sequels. No.
There's a sequel
to watch if you're
sequels. One of them's like a prison movie.
Don't watch them, Lucas. They're terrible.
Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it to yourself.
What's it called?
Green Street Hooligans
2.
Yeah, it's like Green. Yeah,
and then Green Street Hooligans 3. There was a third.
Straight to DVD.
Green Street 2 is it's like a prison DVD. Movie. They're like in prison.
They introduced.
Can I just quickly say, Millwall Rob again, my dad's a West Ham fan. I don't have a problem with you lot. Bro, your profile picture is you putting a West Ham fan.
Oh, he's just being provocative. He's being provocative. He's being provocative. Come on now. He's being provocative. I'll tell you what though. Ken is not here. Ken's not in the chat tonight. If Ken were here, he would corroborate the story we have about a run-in with a gentleman, a Millwall supporter, in a pub in Bexley Heath, which was unpleasant.
So I've actually been to the Den for a match. Can anybody here say that, Tom?
No, I can't say that. Have you been to the Den,
Have you been
Tom?
to the Den, Tom?
No, I have not been to
I haven't even been to England.
Oh, well, you got to go, Phil.
Well, Tom's been to England.
It's a very, very interesting experience.
Who'd you see there? Who'd you see him play?
So I went to see them play Luton Town.
Okay.
Who have a number of
our old
West Ham players.
Yes, our old nemesis from years ago. Rob Banks wrote a book called "An Irrational Hatred of Luton Town."
Yeah. It's like no experience that I've ever had at a sporting event. The first thing I did, and look, if you want to shame me for this, I don't care. I really don't.
Oh, don't tell me you bought a fucking scarf or something like that.
Oh, absolutely, Tom.
He got a tattoo. He got a tattoo.
Listen,
that's why I always wears long sleeves. He's got a tattoo.
No. So let me be rational here. First off, I have seen Green Street Hooligans, and I didn't want to die. Okay, so
it's entertaining. It's fun. It's fun. It's stupid, but it's fun.
I was wearing claret pants and a blue sweater. And underneath my blue sweater was a West Ham kit because I was going to the West Ham match that was 3 or 4 hours later.
Okay.
And so I said, the only way I can actually hide the West Ham collar underneath my sweater is if I buy a scarf. It's the only way I can be safe in this neighborhood stadium. So I bought the scarf. Let me tell you what I did with the scarf, though. As soon as I got off the train at, I think it was Liverpool, London Street, I tossed it in the bin. All right? I threw it in the trash. I didn't keep it. I don't have it with me. It's not a souvenir. I put it in the trash right away. It was literally just a condom. It was to keep me safe. Okay. It doesn't mean I actually wanted to wear it.
Kostya, if you say it's a condom, you should really think about what that makes you.
Oh, well,
that metaphor is going to be a little shaky in the long run. But yes,
well, I was being safe. But I went to the Den, and they really love that chant. No one likes us. No one likes us. And
yes,
I'm like,
that's a big one.
Right,
yes,
no one likes you.
We have copied that in America.
That's like their favorite chant is "No one likes us. No one likes us." I don't know the rest of the words. I think there's another stanza.
No one likes us. No one likes us. We don't care. We don't care. We are Millwall.
We don't care.
We are Millwall from the Den.
The amount, like the energy was very.
You got the yell oi oi at the end.
Let me show you something.
You might want to,
because so many Millwall fans are watching.
I was going to say,
I'll just shave my beard next time I'm going to the Den.
You're the only Millwall fan watching this.
I don't need to go twice.
There's
only going to give a report to all the Millwall fans.
Shout out to the Millwall fans. Guess what?
I was just going to say, shout out to you for calling it Liverpool
way more than I could ever hate you.
It's the funny thing about Millwall, because I think as American fans we've had relatively little exposure to them, because West Ham and Millwall haven't been in the same division that much. Now, when we were down in the Championship 10, 11 years ago, we did play Millwall twice, of course, and then there were some cup ties here and there, but it's not a constant thing with Millwall. And I've had little personal experience with a Millwall fan I thought was pretty scary, but you guys know me, I'm not like a tough guy, so I find everybody scary. Anyway,
can I just shout out to Kostya for calling it Liverpool London Street as well? It's a station that just doesn't exist. It's just Liverpool Street.
Oh, okay.
It's London Station.
Tom, you can't expect me to remember the name of all the tube stations. Okay, I can barely remember the ones here.
But to me, I think the Millwall thing.
Your streets are like alleyways. I wouldn't.
Millwall thing is funny because Millwall and West Ham. I mean, let's be honest. It's familiarity breeds contempt, right? They were all shipbuilders. the history goes back, to there was a side that was union, a side that was non-union. They got in a big row, and it just sort of went from there. But I mean, these are blue collar East London, Southeast London. These are, very
Dockers.
similar groups of people, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I have actually a sort of begrudging respect for Millwall because they're also blue collar, hardworking guys. That's their roots. And that's one of the things I like about West Ham. I am myself not a blue collar, hardworking guy, but I appreciate the fact that that's what my club is based on, and theirs is too. So in a way, I hate them less than I hate, let's say Chelsea, for instance.
Oh, absolutely.
Who already are in a wealthy part of London and are owned by a multiple mass murderer. And, I have a lot more disdain for Chelsea than I do for Millwall. It's not even close. So, anyway.
Yeah. And Tom would know better than I do, but Millwall's original location is
he's saying
fairly distant from where they're at now. Am I correct in that?
This is a
they moved several neighborhoods over.
Yeah, I really don't know the history of Millwall that well, to be honest. I really don't. So I listen, Rob. I'm sure you're right. I just don't know.
And nobody else does either.
The last thing I'll say about the Den is, two parts. First, the away fans are truly sectioned off to their own stand.
Yeah,
top tier.
Yes,
it's as safe as it can possibly be, and they let them all out first, and you have to wait. The Isle of Dogs, that's what it's called. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So the Luton Town fans had their own stand, and then
who were you with? Were you with the Millwall fans?
I sat with the Millwall fans.
Okay.
And what I'll tell you is, when I was in London last, it was literally when we switched from
close,
Pellegrini.
but enemies way closer.
It was it's a Sun Tzu quote, right? Know thy enemy as thyself, or whatever.
Something like that.
They loved that we were struggling, and for some reason they were talking about us at halftime. I heard multiple different groups of people having conversations about how shit we were and how they really hoped we'd get relegated. So they're constantly thinking about us, even though we're not in the same league.
That's funny. That's funny.
And on that note, was when I went to see Pellegrini's last game, and I saw Moyes' first game. And that was in between there, and they were excited and hoping we would drop. But the other bit is
Boxing Day.
I don't even think you can call this a chant.
Yeah.
But they all growl simultaneously, and I don't mean a Hull City Tigers type of organized growl. I mean something they don't like happens, and the whole arena.
It's primal.
It is. The whole arena goes like that, and I'm like, whoa! I've never heard this before. That's interesting.
See, Rob's getting the chat room all stirred up now. That's what he came here to do.
Oh boy!
And he's doing it. It's going to happen.
Real quick. I got to bounce. I got to go drink some beers.
Go get margarita.
Right,
hey,
Lucas.
Lucas. Are you going to at least have a Shinerbach or some Texas beer while you're there?
I mean, I'll try.
Yeah, try hard.
Okay?
Were you about to say margarita?
Yes, I love margaritas. Love them. Are you joking? Yes.
Lucas is not a sweet drink type of guy.
I think they're awesome.
But quick before Lucas leaves,
IPA guy.
Before Lucas leaves, in case you forgot, is back on this Sunday. We had a little hiatus because Charlie was busy with the Olympics, but we're back on Sunday.
In case you forgot, it's on Sunday. Lucas, what's your prediction for Sunday and Thursday both? Real quick before you go.
Oh man, Sunday's tough because Moyes, he's very his decision making when it comes to wrestling players is very erratic. We never know when it's going to happen, but he doesn't really choose to do that, but he does do it sometimes out of the blue. Yeah. I'm going to go out on a limb and say he's not because of the Newcastle result today. I think we're going to go in like it's a regular game because if we do win, it's a big 3 points to push us to where we want to be. And then I think that's enough time to rest before Thursday. Even if we did play our strongest team, that's what, 2 days training, fly over, rest the next day.
It's what we did this past week.
Or match.
It's a schedule we're on.
I think we'll go full strength on Sunday. obviously minus Cresswell and maybe a few others. There might be at most 3 changes, at most. Brentford are in form. Ivan Pony or Panoni. I was trying to come up with something clever, but I couldn't. I think it's going to be a tough game. I'll go 2-0. Actually, no, 2-1, because Christian Eriksen will make something happen. He's on fucking fire. And Thursday, massive chip on our shoulder after everything we went through. I'm gonna go 2-1, and we win in extra time. And Craig Dawson scores a winner and winks right into Bailey's face and headbutts him. He gets sent off, and we hold on for 5 more minutes with 10 men.
And then we're without him for probably Barcelona. Is that what happens?
Oh, fucking, we don't need him against Barcelona.
We don't need him. No, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Yeah, that's a piece of piss. That's it. All right. Well, you're trying to kill me with this extra time stuff, but all right, Lucas. Thanks for coming on, man. It was good to see you.
All right, love you all.
Enjoy
Love
Austin. Do something Texan.
well.
Do something Texan, will you? Just
please go get some barbecue and then shoot something.
Shoot something. That's a great thing to do.
And eat
Although Austin's not really a shooting something type city.
That's true. Very
true. About 20, 30 miles out, and then you can do whatever you want. Yeah.
You could go on the Joe Rogan podcast. I hear that's where he records it now.
Is it really?
Yeah, he moved to Texas because the taxes are lower.
Oh, of course he did. I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
All right. Well, whatever.
Well, love
Enjoy
you all.
it anyway.
Be safe. Be well.
All right. Talk to you soon, Lucas. Thank you. All right. So
let's let Phil do his prediction so that he can go to class or work or feed his kid. I don't know which one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Phil's got a proper job. He's got to go to work. Yeah. So what do you okay. If you got time, Phil, before you give me your prediction, would you play full strength on Sunday and next Thursday, or do you rest somebody? And if so, who?
I would rest. If I could, I would rest Dawson.
Really? Get Diop in there?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I would rest Dawson.
Interesting.
Because I don't want to lose him for that Lyon match. You just can't. The way he's been playing, you can't afford to lose him in this match. You know, I would love to get 3 points versus Brentford, but realistically, I think we all know it's Europa League is the big focus. It's right there for us. It's within our grasp. I would rest him. If anyone gets rested, it's definitely him.
All right, fair enough. I mean, what's your take? Do you go for it against Brentford? Do you think it's? I mean, do you make it a priority? Do you say, you know what, we're
not a priority at this point anymore? I just think with the way the table is right now, it's a big ask to be able to expect to overtake the two sides ahead of us.
Yeah.
You know, I would love to believe that Spurs are going to Spurs it up and Arsenal are going to keep choking, but you know, that's just not a bet.
I mean, oddly enough, our best chance is actually to pass Manchester United, but that's not going to be easy either.
Like Wolves losing today was huge.
Huge, massive.
Yeah, it was just huge for us, just to consolidate top 7.
Well, for us, right? 7th at least gets us into Conference League. That's Europe. That's something.
That's something.
Yeah, it's something.
But if we're being real, it right now it's more so about Europa League because it's right there for us.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah.
So what do you think happens on Thursday and on Sunday and on Thursday? I'm gonna mix.
I think if we play, even with a slightly rotated side, I still think we have every chance to win. But I'd say a 1-1 draw
on Sunday.
Yeah, 1-1 draw Sunday.
Yeah, Brentford are in form. They scare me a little bit, to be honest. They just crushed Chelsea.
The way Eriksen's been playing, it's just you just feel like he's gonna produce something that's gonna piss you off and also make you realize, he's just that guy.
Yeah. No, he was
for him to fall to Brentford was unbelievable coup.
You do ask yourself, why can't we get guys like that? Well,
I mean, his situation was
we
bit
didn't.
different.
Yeah. Here we go. This I agree with. Now, we've had Bill Gardner on the channel, and absolutely he's a legend. There's no doubt about that. All right. What about Thursday, Phil, against Lyon? I know that's a long way off. A lot could happen between now and then, but what's your thinking?
I go 2-0 in Lyon.
2-0 to us?
Yeah, 2-0 to us.
And does it go to extra time the way Lucas was trying to torture us, or do you think we?
No, it's going to finish. I don't think we go to extra time one way or the other. Okay. It finishes in 90. I think we go win 2-0, 3-1 on aggregate.
I would love nothing more. Nothing would make me happier than that. Well, no, that's true. Nothing would be happier than that. I'll stick with what I said the first time.
Well, let's not shoot for the skies. Let's not shoot for the stars yet.
All right, Phil, you got to go. You got to go whenever you're ready. Hey, always good to have you on. Appreciate you coming on. If you guys are in the Chicago area, know anybody in Chicago, check out Black Fires. Okay. It's a group Phil has going. They started as a Chicago Fire supporters group. Now they're doing all sorts of activities for kids. A lot of things to get kids into football, especially kids who cannot afford to do it otherwise in our stupid, ridiculous pay-for-play system that we have in this country that's so damaging. Phil is getting kids in without all that stuff. So he's doing wonderful work. And if you guys are in Chicago, check it out, okay? You come on, see us again soon?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I love being on here. You guys are awesome.
Well, we think the same thing of you. Okay. Well, thank you for being on. We appreciate it.
How do you pronounce the name?
Kostya.
Kostya.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you, Phil.
Still feels weird that people recognize me.
I know. It's a small community.
It is.
And we know everybody.
Yeah, right. It's true. It's true.
Everyone take care. Right. Be safe.
Thank you, Phil. So talk to you soon.
Thanks, Phil.
Talk to you soon.
All right, we got Rob.
And then there were 3.
And then right, exactly. Rob is still stirring up trouble in the chat room. So if you guys want to argue with Millwall, Rob, then be my guest. We appreciate every viewer we get, even those who support Millwall. So we thank Rob for being here. And they play Barnsley this weekend, by the way, tomorrow. They're 6 points out of the playoff spot. They're not. They are contenders for a playoff
I have
spot.
to say, Rob, and they really have a chance. Like, they'd really have to screw it up. Yeah. Because to me, the prospect of Millwall in the Premier League is really like exciting, because I don't know when the last time they were in the Premier League, and it would make for some insane matches. I mean, we would crush them if they made the Premier League, but it would still be fun. And I actually had a look at their schedule, and I think they have 7 or 8 games left, and the most difficult team they have to play is 15th. And all the other clubs they're playing are like 18th, 20th, 24th. So if they don't make the playoffs, it's all their fault, because they're playing just
I'm going to tell you something.
Easy schedule to end the season.
You've been Division 1. I know that. Old Division 1. But I don't think they've ever been in the Premiership. So that goes back to early 90s. I know they were in old Division 1. Yes, I'm aware of how that works. I'm not just somebody who watched Green Street. Yes, I know, before the Premier League. Yes, I know that there was a time before the Premier League. It's like NFL fans with the Super Bowl, right? They don't understand there was a league existed before 1966. The English football existed before 1992 or whatever it was. Anyway, I was going to say, Barnsley this weekend. You know what? Millwall in the Premier League, I have to tell you, as a lot of West Ham fans say, it's tasty. It's a tasty.
They would immediately get relegated, though, because
their
owners don't have money.
That may be true, but I'm going to tell you, that would be a battle if we played them in a Premier League match, and I guarantee you it's not an easy 3 points for West Ham. Absolutely not. No way. Never is. It never is.
I have to disagree, Lee, because they have no brutal. They don't have money. They don't have ownership. I don't think their ownership's even worth £1 billion, Lee.
It's 2 games. That's it. It's 2 games, and they'll be up for it like you wouldn't believe.
Can I just say, how the show descended into talking more about Millwall than it has done about us?
Well, because you're not saying anything. That's because
I know, because everyone's talking about friggin' Millwall.
All right. Calm. Is your name James? All of a sudden, keeping me following the rules, keeping me in check. All right. So what would you do on Sunday, Tom? No, not with not with
Yeah, what are we doing against Barnsley, Tom?
Listen, I got back the boys.
Are we still starting
Ferguson
at left wing back?
I'm throwing my link for my young men in the Gambia out there again. My GoFundMe link to those who have already given. Thank you, and if you have a little bit to give, that would be great. He's establishing a West Ham youth club in the Gambia. He's doing it all himself. He's 16 years old. He has 70 kids. They are not his biological kids. They are the kids in his club. He has 70 kids in his club. Anyway, Tom, what would you do
on Sunday?
On Sunday. Although I do wear a bracelet that says WWTAD. What would Tom Atherton do? So,
well, listen.
Every time I have a quandary or a conflict,
there you go. What would Tom?
You know what, Rob? That's like $7 now or something. So I would that would be great if you did that. All right, go ahead, Tom.
For me, this is just like it's the worst team to play after a tough game. It's exactly like the Spurs game. You just don't want to play them because
they're in form. They just
Christian Eriksen
at the bridge.
Christian Eriksen has a large part to play in that. They're fast in transition. They're quick. They really don't care so much for who they're playing. They just stick to their guns. They'll play the same way, and I think that's a problem for us, especially after a hard game. Especially with 45 minutes with 10 men. So it's not a question of resting players because I think you got to keep the same squad sort of playing and keeping them tip top for Thursday. It's just, I know it's going to sound bad, but I think after the Wolves result, I would take a point. I think that's where I'm at with that.
I think most people would. I think most of us would. I would. I feel the same way.
I think they're just one of those horrible, horrible, horrible teams that not themselves. They're not a horrible team, but it's just that's a team that has that kind of intensity over 90 minutes. It's just you just don't need that after a tough Thursday night game. So, yeah, I'd make a couple of changes. Maybe I'd think obviously the likes of Zuma and Dawson are going to probably start. Obviously, you got to bring Johnson in now. Maybe again, I'd feel weird saying this. I'd give Masuaku maybe 90 minutes today. The reason I can't trust him next week is just because of how much their fullbacks look to bomb forward and overlap, and the amount of times that they had 2 against 1 on, even when we had 10 outfield players on the pitch, even before Cresswell was sent off, the amount of 2v1 situations they had, and my God, I can't imagine Masuaku defending against that. So yeah, maybe give him a run out. Maybe Noble play this week instead of Souček. I don't know.
Yes, I think that's a great idea. Actually, I really do.
He had a bad game the other day, Souček. This whole season he's been very off the boil.
He's regressing to the mean.
He's had a lot of bad games this season, Tom.
He has.
Yeah.
Look, it's possible that as much as we love him, he's not actually that good. No. I'm sorry to say this, but
I've seen the worst Twitter take I've ever seen. I think today was that when somebody quote tweeted after Jack Wilshere was saying that Rice is the best midfielder, and he said something like, he's not even the best defensive midfielder in the team. It's, Souček allows him to do what he does. It's like, just tell me you don't watch West Ham.
That's just somebody talking bollocks, frankly. That's just crap. You know what I mean? That's not, no, it is. I mean, that's not an educated take. Nobody could possibly think that. Listen,
he was verified on Twitter as well. It's verified journalist.
Twitter verify anybody.
Well, some people are verified because they're attention seekers.
Right.
And they're not actually telling you what they think.
There are people who are verified with like half the number of followers I have, and I don't have that many. But I see people verified.
Well, do you know, Lee? If your Twitter name was Lee, I do know your last name. I'm not going to say it on the air, but you have to put your whole name in, I guess, and that's part of one of the qualifications. Like, if I had my last name instead of AHN, I could apply. Or whatever.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Damn it, I thought you guys were related. I thought your surnames were just AHN.
That's right.
Yeah, we're the Ons. Right. We're the On family.
The Ons.
Yeah.
We got ancient Mongolian ancestors.
Tom, when I met you, I thought you were like a road sign, like to Matherton. I didn't cut it off in the right place. England has a lot of weird names.
Listen, there is an Atherton in England. It's in Lancashire. That's where my name originated from.
There's a Matherton?
No, not Matherton. There's an Atherton. I even found out yesterday that there's
Isn't Matherton what you call math? Don't you call it Matherton?
And they call it maths.
Oh yeah, math.
Just because it's plural, mathematics.
Listen, I legitimately found there is actually an Atherton in LA.
Oh,
like an actual
really?
It's a town, or not LA, but there's a town in California. Yeah.
Oh, California.
In San Mateo County, California.
Oh,
a population of
San Mateo
7,100.
County is like money. Yeah.
It's near Stanford, but there is an actual
very
town
nice.
called Atherton
Very
in California.
swanky. You're in Silicon Valley there, my friend. That is, if you have family there.
Where do you think they get all this money from?
I was going to say a little claim to that riches. You go over there and hang out with Larry Ellison and all those jackasses.
But
anyway.
yeah, no, I'm speaking on Sunday. I just like I said, I think a point. I think it could be one of them shootout games with them. They're really weird. I've watched them a couple of times this year. They either don't score and they concede a shit ton of goals, or they score a load of goals and also concede a shit ton of goals. They're so. It's very typical of almost like what Leeds were when they first got promoted last year. So I like Brentford as a team. I think they've done a fantastic job, and like I said, I think a point is our best. Obviously, 3 points is best case scenario, but I think a point will be decent, especially with Wolves dropping points tonight.
Newcastle
respect the point is what I'd say.
We're about to hate Newcastle. I mean, as much as we've hated any club in ever because of their new owners, but for right now, today they were our friends.
Oh God, Wolves were dog shit. They were awful.
I caught while I was getting my hair trimmed and my beard sculpted. One of the women who does the hair cutting at this place is a Chelsea fan, of course, and
oh no!
So I actually caught.
No wonder your haircut's so terrible.
Well, she didn't do it. Didn't do my kids' hair either, but she's a nice person. But she's a Chelsea fan.
I wouldn't let her anywhere near my hair.
She was watching Chelsea versus Brentford while she was cutting this guy's hair, and I was like, "Yeah, you might want to pay more attention." Anyway, and so I ended up seeing the game at the haircut place, and I gotta say, Chelsea, I mean, they really dominated the game, except that Brentford hit on every counter they had. Do you know what I mean? Like Chelsea dominated possession. They got chance after chance. They couldn't finish. They couldn't find that end product. And every time Brentford hit them on the counter, it was just like, it was just Swiss cheese. They just walked right through them.
Yeah.
So I think because we are more of a counterattacking team by nature, I'm not as worried about giving up 4 to Brentford because I don't think that we're going to be constantly pressing forward the way Chelsea were. Do you know what I mean? The fear I have is because they sort of like to counter, we sort of like to counter. I'd like for them to come after us more than I think they're going to. And that's what I always worry about with these counter attackers. When it's a counter versus counter, you get this weird stalemate, and it doesn't feel like a game we're going to win.
I think it's going to be a question of the same thing with the Spurs one is just you switch off for a few seconds and they're just going to punish you. I think we just got to accept that. But to be fair, like this is such a catch-22 because it's like we wanted to be in this position where we're fighting on all fronts and we can compete and we can say, right, well, we'll play Lyon on Thursday and then we'll just fuck off, Kieran. We'll play on Thursday and then we can go out and win on Sunday and then we can go fight again on Thursday. But it's just not worked like that. So I think that's why I think we're respecting the point there would be a decent. I'm not saying set up, but I just think their energy levels will be far superior to what we put out on Sunday. I think that's probably going to be the difference.
Newcastle did us a huge favor, let's be honest. And if we were to manage a point on Sunday, that gives us a full 3 ahead of Wolves, and I think our goal differential is superior too. Although to be honest,
yes, it is. Yeah.
So 3+ goal differential means you are a game and a little bit more ahead, if that makes sense, and I don't think that's a bad place for us to be at all. I would not mind seeing a little rotation of the squad. If you're ever going to play Arthur Masuaku, do it on Sunday. You know what I mean? As opposed to Thursday. If you're going to play Mark Noble, do it on Sunday. If you have to bring in, if Masuaku's a total disaster, then I guess, you'd have to maybe bring in Ben Johnson for a half or something like that. I like the way we did, we brought him in after the red card on Thursday. I think rotate the squad a little bit And you know what? I'm with you. Respect the point. Respect.
I'd rather be in control of our own destiny than have to be one of those teams that's chasing the pack. I know it sounds weird, but like if we were at least 3 points ahead of Wolves and knowing they have it to do rather than us having it to do, then I'd much rather be in that position. I think. Thankfully, as well, Arsenal losing the other day kind of actually balanced everything out quite nicely and brought everybody a little bit. I know they have a couple of games in hand, but it's kind of brought everything back to a level playing field almost.
We're not. I mean, we're top 6 is a possibility for us. It is.
It is.
It's just going to be. I mean, because the problem is. I know Manchester United.
Sorry, can I just say respect to James and Rob who are still going at it in the
chat. They're still going at it. I know. I'm just letting them go at it. I haven't been featuring the comments here because James and Rob are just having a good old time going at it. And you know what? That's great. That's banter, and that's what it's all about. And I have absolutely no idea what Rob is talking about. But if you guys are enjoying it, go for it.
You have to be at a bar with those two.
I was going to say, be at a bar. Yeah, probably end in some sort of. The old Bill would show up, right? That's the Cockney of term for the cops, right? The old Bill. Old Bill would show up at some point. But anyway, Tom's like, don't use English expressions. Don't do that. Don't say mate or quid. I don't say mate or quid because I can't. It's not going to.
Just ask Kieran. He's your proper resident Cockney in there tonight.
Yes, I will say. I do say football because that's the proper term. Okay. But I
was having this discussion the other day. I don't think it is. I genuinely believe it is actually soccer.
Well, you know who said the word soccer in a famous quote? It's Ron Greenwood. Ron Greenwood said, and I'll find it. I'll look it up and I'll find it.
It is soccer. And
I my friend who studies the history of American soccer, and he's not American. He's from Bulgaria, but he lives here in Boston. Well, actually, lives in Rhode Island, but whatever, in New England. He says that it's actually soccer. He calls it soccer. He grew up in Europe, lived in France for many years. He says it was originally soccer.
I think it pains a lot of people, but I think
that's kind of true. Soccer. It was association football as opposed to rugby football or whatever. Association football, and it was the SOC, from the word association that got turned into soccer. So. However, as you know, if you are an American and you go around saying the word soccer in front of a bunch of English guys,
you get ridiculed.
You're going to get all level of hell. So you're going to get more hell than a little bit, as Bum Phillips used to say. So I'd rather just call it football. I'd rather. It's just easier that way.
I say when I'm talking about the NFL, I say it with a strong American accent. I go football, and then if I'm talking about West Ham, I say football. Like that.
One thing I will never use the word gridiron to describe American football. I'll call it American football. I'll never call it gridiron because I think it's a terrible name. Even though it is played on it. It used to be played on actual, you ever see the old costume, the old photographs of old college games from like the teens and the 19th century? It was an actual grid, like the hash marks. They had the field, the yard lines, and then the hash marks were full lines. So it was an actual grid.
Yeah,
which is kind of weird.
I don't understand why, but
I don't either. But they also did a lot of stuff that was different from now.
Sure.
But anyway, I don't like to call it gridiron. I think that's terrible. I'll call it American football or, the NFL, which is what we talk about most of the time anyway. But yes, Ron Greenwood, and I'm going to find it. I'm going to, here we go. That's right. It's right here. Oh, I'm going to find it here in just a minute. Let me ask you guys this. Success or failure? Oh, what is this? I hate these pop-ups. Now I got all these pop-ups. Now I got to close this whole tab because it's popping up all over me here.
You still have pop-ups in 2022?
I did not. No.
Are you using a desktop, Lee?
Have you never heard of AdBlock?
To do this. Yes, I am using a desktop to do this. My work computer, actually. It's my work. I do everything on my work. I don't have my own computer anymore. Anyway, don't go to sites with quotations. That's part of the problem. Oh, I was going to say, success or failure to you guys if we finish 7th, not guaranteed, obviously.
Yeah.
Let's say we finish 7th, and we end up in Conference League, and we do not win Europa League. We go out quarterfinals, semifinals. Good season or not to you?
Failure.
Really?
Yeah. And it's emotional failure more than it is because if you tell me from in a vacuum type of perspective, oh, your club, West Ham, who you've seen finish 14th, 15th many times. You're going to have a year finishing 6th, and then you have a year finishing 7th. In a vacuum, okay, that sounds really great.
Right.
But
right.
I just know that if we don't achieve anything, then the chances of Rice leaving are significantly higher.
Yeah, I know.
And for me, that's what it's all about.
But
Can I
And
just say that Rebecca has just sent me this, and she's not even bothering to.
hang on.
Watch.
Hang on. Let me come back. Okay, what she send you?
She's not. She just sent me this. She's not even watching us. She's watching a horse. I don't.
A horse? She's watching horse?
She just said, "Could I be watching The Love of My Life?" Yes. Am I watching Saxophone Horse for the 7th time tonight? Also, yes. There you go.
What's she watching?
I don't know what fucking saxophone horse is. Look at it.
Is it a horse that can actually play the saxophone? Because that is pretty much worth watching.
I was going to say, if it's a horse playing the saxophone, I might just watch that right now and just stop the whole thing. And just, you know what? The horse playing the saxophone does sound pretty compelling.
I am going to agree.
But I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you this. All right. I pulled it up for a second. I'm gonna show you. Now, I've read this in many different places. It's a real quote. Ron Greenwood. Here we go. You can read it yourself. Look at that last word. What's he say right here? What's this? What's that? Swaka. Swaka, as they're going to be calling it tomorrow when I'm at my son's game. The crowds at West Ham haven't been worried by results, but they keep turning up because of the good football they see. He says football here, all right? Other clubs will suffer from the old bugbear, whatever that is, that results count more than anything. This has been the ruination of English soccer.
I think
he's being
really articulate and eloquent.
Play the saxophone instead of us. This is just shocking.
There's your man, Ron Greenwood, using the word soccer right there.
I think what he's also saying there, I think he's criticizing fair weather fans and bandwagon.
Oh no, I do too.
Right?
I do too. And he talks about the ruination of English. I don't know when he said this, but England haven't won a major trophy since 1966. So if he said it after 1966, he was probably right. Of course, we have a lot of admiration for him. Anyway.
I'm actually gonna agree with Costia. I see it as a failure. You did say it was a failure, didn't you?
Yeah, no.
He said it was a failure. Yeah.
I think we can finish 7th or 8th, and it's not a failure, but that requires winning the Europa League. And to me, my dream, I don't think 4th is realistic anymore.
No. It's not.
Maybe if we had signed a bunch of people in January and we had a lot of depth, I would be more thinking it's possible. But my dream scenario is finish 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. I don't care. I don't think we'll finish 9th. I think the worst we'll finish is 8th. And the best is maybe 5th. I think 6th or 7th is more realistic. My dream, do I want this so badly? We win the Europa League and therefore take Spurs' Champions League spot from them, even if
there would just be
they finish 4th. That would make my year, let alone
that's
day.
The lottery.
That's what I really want to see.
That's the dream.
I think it's very much failure with an asterisk by it, because I think it all just depends what happens in the next few weeks. But I think it's not that I'm being picky and I don't want European conference football. That's still Europe or a version of it. I just think it's
Europe we could actually really
but we've spent all year making fun of Spurs for being in that tournament.
I never made fun of them for that. I never did. I made fun of them punking out of it. They punked out of it. That's what I made fun of them for.
The only way you're going to keep Rice, unfortunately, is if you get, I think, if we manage to somehow win the Europa League or we re-qualify Europa League. The guy wants Champions League football. I think it is just, it's not that I say it's a failure, but I think with how we played and everything else, I think it's just going to look bad on the manager and the board for not investing in January when it was so key for us to do that. And I think it's been a brilliant season. I'm not at the point where I'm like, oh, we need this, we deserve this, and this. Right. But I think we need to be a bit realistic and say, I know Rob's there saying false realistic. I don't. I still think that somehow the Premier League is going to find its way to get the top 4 teams that it wants into the Champions League spots. I believe one of that will go. I think United, for me, I think it's achievable. I honestly, I've watched United the last few weeks. I think they've been playing so badly. They're not a team. They're not together. They're susceptible. They can't score
And
goals.
Have we not played them twice already? Didn't they beat us twice already?
No, we've got to play them, I think, in a couple of weeks.
Do we have them again?
Who's
It
that?
must be
Man United.
I got confused by we had the League Cup tie. That's probably what it was.
I think we have to play them in a couple of weeks.
No, I just looked. It's Brentford, Burnley, Chelsea.
Oh, it's Man City that we've got, isn't it?
It is Man City, yeah.
So we're done with Man United. So we can't bottle it against Man United because we're done playing them.
Yeah, but Man United have got a horrible run, I think. And it's just, I think if we can finish sixth, I think that's a realistic target for us. I still think it would, but I mean, listen, it would be incredible if we managed to win Europa League. But I think our problem is exactly what we've got now is this weekend. I think it's those Thursday games and then playing teams like Brentford that are just the total opposite of a team that you want to be playing after you've played on Thursday and you've got a squad that's as small as our squad is. Listen, it's been a great season again. I think nobody really penned us to beat, obviously, Sevilla and get as far as we have done in Europe and fight in different competitions and stuff. But I think that will all unravel if we finish 7th or 8th. We get knocked out by Lyon.
So is sixth a success for you then? Europa League?
I think given the constraints of the squad and where I think we need to be in order to keep. And I know he said you're still in Europe, just the championship. But I know that, but it's
you know what? It's Europe though, man. It's awesome. I think
it's not the Europe that someone like Declan Rice wants.
It's
is what
not.
I'm saying.
But let me just say, I'm going to say what I've always said about Declan Rice. All right, and you're going to hear it again because I'm here. If we were to, if Arsenal were to get lasagna poisoning again, and Tottenham were to do what they do and bottle, a top 4 finish, and we were to finish in the top 4, okay, we're not winning Champions League. All right. If we win Europa League this season, we're not winning Champions League. Okay. Let me just go ahead and state that right now. Declan Rice can go to a club that can win Champions League. Okay. He can go to, I don't know who's going to want him, but hypothetically, he can go to a Liverpool. He can go to a Chelsea. He can go to Manchester City. You know what I mean?
Real Madrid is where I hope he goes if he leaves.
I hope he leaves England.
I still think he's gonna. I genuinely, if we actually beat Lyon and we play against Barca, I think this season alone, the fact that we've played, and I think I said this to you when we were on a few weeks ago, Leo. It's like, you can't tell me with a straight face and say that Real Madrid and or Barcelona did not have people inside the Sevilla game watching him.
Of course,
and even Fabrizio Romano, when he went on with Gio and that the other day, he literally said Real Madrid have been looking at him. So for me, just fits the mold of what every Spanish club wants.
I would love for him to leave England. If we sell him, I'd love to sell him outside of England and say good luck, God bless. And
I love what Xavi's doing, and I think he's like the perfect Busquets replacement for them. I do. I think
that's what I'm saying. But listen, I mean,
and I don't even give a shit if he went to Barcelona. I would be straight online and buying a Rice Barcelona shirt.
I think
I would buy the Madrid one. I don't know if I can buy it.
I wouldn't. I have no preference for Spanish football. I have no club that I follow. So
I like Real because I love Zidane and Beckham as a kid.
Well, I do like. I mean, I love Zidane because I think he's a great gentleman and a great
Ronaldinho.
player. And Ronald, but I loved Ronaldinho too. But I loved him, and I watched him. I never
also
liked
played for PSG, so you can't.
Well, that's where I saw him play. I saw him play when I lived there, and he was magnificent. And I never liked PSG, but I used to win tickets to those matches. Yes, you got it. I did say it, and it's true. It's true. But Declan Rice, again, if Declan Rice leaves, he will leave for a club that can win Champions League. All right. So I think in a way, if he's going to leave, he's going to leave. Whether we finish 6th, 7th, 8th, 3rd, 12th, it doesn't really matter. If he's going to leave,
if we win the Europa League, he's not leaving.
I think
not yet.
I mean, but Kostya, okay, maybe not. But I mean, if he has the chance to walk away to a real Champions League contender, and we could actually get 100 to 150 million pounds for him, that deal gets done. I'm sorry, that gets done. Absolutely, every time it gets done, it just does. It just does.
For me, that was so American of you. It just gets done.
It gets done. It gets done. It's a done deal. But that's how it feels. That's how it feels.
I mean, I just like. I wonder, like, why would he? If we're in the Champions League, why would he go like right away? Because we're in the Champions League, and that's what he said that he wanted, and then theoretically
we'll be in the Champions League through the group stage, Kostya, and then we'll be either back.
But
down
Lee, there are
the Europa
so
League
many good free transfers this summer, and we love a good free transfer.
As long as
there's rumors that we're going to try to sign like 3 guys for free because there's so many of them.
As long as they're Will Soldhouse clients, yes.
Now Rob is talking sense. Ditch Mark Noble, get rid of him.
Unless you're playing Ultimate Team, and Tom, I was trying to bring that up in the private comments.
I gotta say that Rob is bringing a surprising amount of wisdom and humor to this chat tonight, aside from fighting with James. And we're on your side, James. Okay, we're on your side. Don't get me wrong. We're on your side as West Ham fans, but. Rob is
200K a week. Come on, Rob.
Would you believe I saw this movie in the theater when I lived in Paris? I went with a bunch of English friends.
Oh, I saw that in the theater too, and it changed my life.
In the theater, Keira Knightley, who's a West Ham fan. Keira Knightley's a West Ham fan. Yeah. So that was probably about 20 years ago.
It was all about Santiago Muñoz goal.
I saw goal, but I didn't see it in the theater.
I've never seen that.
It's not that bad. It's not not that bad.
Yeah.
It's not that bad. It's okay.
Bend It Like Beckham changed my life. It made me a West Ham fan, actually.
Wasn't that Keira Knightley?
Yeah. That's I won't tell the whole story again, but maybe I will. I saw Pirates of the Caribbean. Puberty's just started. I was like, who's this beautiful woman?
How old are you? Puberty's just started.
I'm 32.
Oh my!
I'm gonna have to check when.
You just muted yourself, Tom, mid-sentence.
Yeah, you just cut yourself off there. You just cut yourself off.
2003 Kostya, 32 would have. If you're 32, 2003 would have made you what?
13, 14.
Yeah.
But when I saw Pirates, and then
I was 29.
Basically, you saw Keira Knightley, you got hard in the cinema, and you thought, I need to see her in something else.
Yeah.
And she was bringing out.
Well, no, I figured out pretty quickly that she was a West Ham fan, and I was like,
she is.
If I'm gonna marry her, like I have to be a West Ham fan. That's literally my logic as a 12-year-old. I was like, okay, West Ham.
I was 29 when I saw that movie. If it was in 2003, so how old was she in 2003, Tom?
19.
She's 37, so she must have been 19, 20.
Okay, well that's that. I don't feel bad about whatever feelings I may or may not have had for her then. That's not ridiculous. That's not outrageous. I wasn't quite 30. Come on now. I'm not exactly a Republican congressman. Oh, sorry.
Well, no. What we should feel bad about is Jerry Bruckheimer, the producer's kind of a sexist pig, and he like made her squish her, what's together just so that there would look like there was something there. She talked about this pretty openly because she is flat-chested and who cares? She's still beautiful. But for the sake of Pirates of the Caribbean, they like did a lot of padding, and that shows that we're not that far from like sexism has always been there in the entertainment industry. It's not like it's gone away.
Oh no, yeah. I mean, I agree. No, I did not even know there was a joke.
American Hammers bringing you cutting talks on
it.
I'm just saying that Keira Knightley.
I'm still waiting for Lee to ask me what I think is going to happen against Brentford.
Have I never asked you that? Well, I forgot.
No, you let Tom go on. And I was like, all right, he's going to ask me next.
I got all distracted.
And then instead you started talking about.
I got distracted by Keira Knightley. Anyway. Nightly. That's
we all did apparently.
That's how often she'd get it nightly. Anyway, go ahead.
I was only 8 when that film came out.
Years old.
Yeah.
I thought you were my age. I didn't realize you were that much.
How are you an adult with a beard? How do you have a beard, Tom? You're not old enough to have a beard.
I'm 26.
Oh bloody hell!
Listen, COVID has made me look scruffy. And
I know.
For a haircut.
Tom does have COVID, so you probably should be wearing a mask. Actually. If you're watching the show, because Tom has COVID, so you want to be
careful. Put a mask on, Tom. I don't feel safe.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. I don't feel either. I never feel safe with Tom anyway. But, all right, Kostya. Yeah. Okay. Then what would you do against Brentford since you're so itchy to tell us?
Well, I don't really have some sparkling new idea. I pretty much agree with what Tom said. What I will point out is that we played them already. We lost. And we were at
the end too.
We were at full strength.
Yes.
Bonner was still around.
And by the way, at home at the London Stadium. Yes.
So
all
that,
of that. All of that.
I feel like it would be very much in the vein of this season for us to lose to Brentford and then go and beat Lyon.
I do too. You know what? I've had the same.
And I'm fine with that. That's what I would much rather that than the other way around.
I agree. Everything you've said, I agree. And that's actually, in all honesty, that's actually kind of what I think is going to happen.
I think so.
I think that we'll have a very difficult time with Brentford because they're in form, because we are probably going to have to rest at least a couple of players. Although I guess not Aaron Cresswell, right? He can play in the Premier League, so he'll play. But you know, you look at somebody like Danny up above. Our friend Danny said rest Bowen and Antonio. I don't mind that idea at all. I think resting Bowen's a very good idea actually. Maybe get Vlasic out there to play on the right.
But if we go 2 week, didn't Brentford beat somebody like 4-1?
They beat Chelsea last weekend.
4-1. I don't know if I want to go too soft, because then what if goal differential is the difference between
which it might be, right? Which it might be
6th and 7th or 8th.
Well, I mean,
Lee, can I take my makeshift mask off here, please? I'd like to.
If you're careful, are you 6 feet away from me? Not on the screen. You're not on the screen. You're not on the screen. You're about. It's about 3 inches, I think. So
on the screen, I'm not. Jesus, look, fuck me. That's why you know I need a haircut.
Oh my God, Lee, how did you get Jack Grealish on the show? Oh no,
I was gonna say, you look like a proper like early 2000s footballer with. Remember where David Beckham wore the band for a while?
Yeah.
There used to be a bunch of guys who wore the band like that. I don't see it much anymore, except Grealish, who has the.
Grealish, yeah.
Well, Payet's got a little bun thing he's got going.
Oh, don't even. Did you see? He's
brilliant.
Talk about it.
Absolutely
I just
brilliant.
wish the guy had stayed with us for 5 years. When I see things like
what
that,
kills me about Payet is he was with Saint Etienne. Okay, and Saint Etienne, we're going to go down this season. It's a disaster of a season. He doesn't start, but many years ago he was with Saint Etienne. Then he was with West Ham. So he's been with the two clubs that I support or care about, and you know he didn't stay very long at either one. And I just watching him all these years later still be brilliant. It's like psychological torture.
The technique on that volley is outrageous.
No, it's just
outrageous.
I probably shouldn't say this on the air, but when I saw that, I said that is the first volley I've ever seen that might be better than Di Canio's volley against Wimbledon.
Yes,
that's how impressive it was.
I agree.
The difference,
I still can't. I couldn't go to that level because Di Canio's
it takes a bounce.
But the ball traveled such a way.
Yeah,
that's
why
Trevor Sinclair's pass was fantastic, and everybody forgets that Trevor Sinclair put a beautiful cross into Antonio for that. All the way across the pitch for that volley.
Di Canio, not Antonio, different era.
Did I say Antonio?
Yeah, but I mean their names rhyme. Di Canio.
I already told you on Twitter that if we ever sign Ivan Toney, I'm going to call him Andrew Toney, because there was a basketball player in the 80s named Andrew Toney, and every time I think of somebody with the name Tony, it's going to come out that way. So Ivan Toney will always be Andrew Toney.
Kadarius Toney, look at me.
Wait, I don't even know who that is.
Wide receiver for the Giants, I think. Kadarius Toney.
The Giants. Well, so
look at
marginally an NFL franchise these days. Yeah, I was going to say, probably, yeah. That's good for you, though. That's good.
Good knowledge.
Good knowledge. Yes, you would have remembered Andrew Toney if you were old enough, but you're not, because I know you're a basketball guy.
Was he even an all-star, Lee, or you just remember him?
No. He was a really good player. He was played for the 76ers in the 80s, and they had some really good teams. He was actually, I believe he was an all-star. You'd have to look that up. I'm not sure.
Did he played with Charles and the rest?
Might have predated Barkley a little bit. Would have played with Dr. J, definitely. And
that's definitely predating Charles.
And like Maurice Cheeks and Moses Malone. There he is. There's Andrew Toney. He's got
those jerseys are beautiful,
aren't they? I know. Isn't that nice? I know. I agree. I think it's fantastic.
Compared to now, they're a travesty.
The old Sixers look was so nice and so clean, and I hate pretty much everything about the city of Philadelphia except John Nolan. But that was a nice look, I gotta say. But yeah, Andrew Toney was. And Katie, of course, Katie. I forgot
And
about
Wally.
Katie. And Wally. God, that's too many
And my
people.
friend Tarek, who moved there, but still is always at our pub. Thank goodness.
You know what? I also have, like, my wife has two
Isn't
really
John
good
Nolan
friends who
there
live in
as well? Or is
Philadelphia.
that-
So I'm realizing now I know like 10 people in Philadelphia, and they're all great people.
Is John Nolan there, or am I?
Yes, he's in Philadelphia. So the problem is not the people; it's the city they're trapped in, apparently. Because nobody
Where's
would
the
live there
brotherly
voluntarily.
love, Lee?
Surely,
Come on.
no, I don't like Philadelphia. Anyway,
Now they booed Santa Claus. Tom, did you know that?
dude, they'll boo anything and anybody.
Yeah. So
they're brutal.
They had a Christmas match. Was it
dare
the
they?
Phillies or the Eagles, Lee?
It was the Eagles. It was the
Yeah,
Eagles.
so they had a Christmas match, and Santa Claus came on the pitch, and the whole city of Philadelphia booed him. So
Those
they
bastards.
were notorious. They were notorious. By the way, Andrew Toney was a 2-time All-Star. Okay. Was on the 1983 championship team. So I remember this when I was a kid. Anyway, the Eagles, the old veteran stadium in Philadelphia, had a jail cell in the basement of the stadium with a judge who could hand out a sentence during the game. So they would just pull fans. Yes, they would just pull rowdy fans out. They'd throw them down to the bottom of the stadium. A judge would say, "All right, I sentence you to the next 3 hours in jail." He'd throw them in a jail cell, and that's where they'd sit till the game was over. That was Philly. That was Philly. Now I don't think they still have that in their new place, but that was Philly. And so it's rough. It's rough. But I'm realizing now I have a huge number of friends who live there.
So, I forgot to mention why I'm also hoping that Declan Rice goes to Barcelona. It's because of my investment on this. I need him to go to Barcelona for this.
Wait, what is that? Is that?
I can't. Oh, listen, I thought you guys would have collected sports cards way more than me.
Well, I do in a way.
I got some. Oh, that's cool.
There you go. 60.
Oh, wow, very nice.
I managed to.
See, everybody, even Rob knows. Okay, it's the Millwall of City. It's the Millwall of City. No one likes Philly. It's straight. He's right about that.
To snag Declan Rice's rookie card.
And, that's brilliant.
But so I managed to somehow snag a deal off of someone, and it's 41 of 60. So I need him to keep the 41 jersey number for this to go up more.
I have some old cards, but mine are all football, NFL and baseball cards from the late 70s and early 80s.
Lee, let me impress Lee super quick.
Hold on. Right. I've tried to share my screen.
Well, you can try to impress me.
I've tried to share my screen. I want this. I want this.
What do you? This. Is it not? Is it not sharing? Why is it not sharing?
I've shared it. I
look,
want this.
It did it. Look. Oh wow!
I want this.
Grand.
This is basically this card, but I have this to 60. This is to 10, and is the gold version of his rookie card, and it's going for about $1,000.
So
this is about valuable. This is about 200 quid here.
Yeah, nice.
But that's considerably more.
Nice. Yes, I know. Wally lives in Philly. Wally, Katie, and John Nolan all live in Philly. We love them all. My friends Catherine and Greg live in Philly. John and Jared.
Listen, I'm sitting on a lot of players. I'm sitting on a lot of players to make me some money here. There is a lot of players to make me some money with rookie cards here.
All right.
I hope they pan out for you because I got to tell you, we had Coster may be too young to remember this too, but in the 80s there was a big run on baseball cards, right? And everybody went out and got like Ken Griffey Jr. rookie cards. Greg Jeffries, nobody remembers, but Greg Jeffries played for the Mets. He was supposed to be like the next great player. He didn't pan out, but his rookie card was super valuable for a while. Anybody you can think of who played sort of 80s, 90s had, a valuable rookie card. And people paid a lot of money for them. And frankly, then the market just kind of tanked. And most of them are worth 35 cents.
The market is definitely on the way up. Also, they're not match attacks. How dare you? They're not match attacks. This is possibly the ugliest photo I've got of Declan Rice, but again, invested on a rookie card.
I don't know what match attacks is. So
no, that's an awful pic of him.
Yeah.
Does he have a black eye? What's going on there?
He's having a stroke.
This is his rookie card. This is like a different variant from Panini or something. It's called Pitch Kings. I don't know. But I'm heavily invested.
I hate the Flyers too. I hate the Flyers too, Mark. So yeah, I hate them too. The Flyers.
All right, you ready, Lee? Ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Boom. Autographed rookie David
Is that
Wells.
the hefty lefty? Dude, that's pretty sweet. You got his autograph?
It's sealed, signed. Well, no, I bought it. I didn't like.
Oh, okay. But
I was not alive when he signed this.
Wait, is that a Beckett 9?
That's
is
David
that
Wells.
9?
That's the hefty lefty. Yes.
I I don't know what Beckett number it is.
Does it have like corners and
this is true,
surfaces
'cause
and
my
all that
kids
stuff?
have a bunch of Pokemon
It
cards.
says
Pokemon cards.
it's number 69 actually.
Ah, nice.
And it's an authentic
Value
autograph, and it's his rookie
skyrocket.
card.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's graded at, but
It's probably worth $420 if it's number 69. It's probably worth $420. That would be
I think I paid $50 for it.
okay. That would be sweet.
Because I love David Wells, such a character. Played for every AL East team except the Rays.
Yes, who don't count because they're only like 10 years old or something.
Yep.
That is awesome. And
let's just keep going. Let's just keep going. Neymar,
I love fat players too.
Blue Shimmer to 75
right,
from
let me get
Champions
some
League.
flipping cards.
Look at this.
Okay, I couldn't. I don't. This
Jamal Musiala's rookie card from Bayern
don't
Munich.
want me to get my old baseball and football cards out because we'll be
Tariq
on all night.
Lamptey,
And
rookie
you know who the
ticket.
guys are, so it doesn't matter.
All right, I'm only gonna do 2 more, otherwise we're gonna lose all 4 of our viewers.
Have we got 15? Give us some credit. Rob's hanging on. Rob, to his credit, has been with us all night, and he's sticking with us. So
Rajon Rondo, this is a piece of his jersey.
Oh, that's awesome! From when he was a Celtic, from the good old days. From the good old days.
You'll love this one. This card is from 1975. It's extra big.
Is that Dave Cowens?
It's John Havlicek.
Oh, it's John Havlicek.
They used to come
there
with
it
like
is. Yeah.
pieces of gum. Those
Look at how massive it is compared
That's
to
a huge
other cards.
card. Well, they spent more back then, and they were better quality.
It's a great looking card for it being 50 years old.
It's a brilliant looking card. I have a bunch of cards from the 70s because I bought a game one time at a garage sale, and it was a game. It was a board game where you drafted an NFL team, and it used real football cards. And my neighbors bought these football cards in like 1974, 75, 76. So I've got all these mid 70s cards that were in the game, and they're fantastic. I love them.
It
but
sounds
you
like
know what?
FIFA Ultimate Team, the manual version.
Yeah, I used to have this gigantic when I was a kid. Had this huge case of cards, football. It was all football and NFL and baseball, right? A few basketball, but basketball was not. Dallas didn't have a team when I was little. So it was football and baseball. And then my friend and I decided we would pool our card collection together, and then he just sort of kept it. So I only have maybe like 100 left, and I used to have hundreds. I don't know how many hundreds, but anyway, doesn't matter now. I'm sure I know where he lives. He lives in Dallas. I could go get my cards back if I really wanted them, if he still has them. But yeah, I had a huge. The problem was I used to take my favorite ones and I would like display them, which is a bad idea because I would like glue them to stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I had a Tony Dorsett, and I love Tony Dorsett, so I wanted to like show it off in my room, so I glued it to a piece of poster board. Well, you know, I was like, what was I, like 7? I didn't know, you know. So anyway, I ruined a lot.
Oh, honestly, the state. Of,
I believe this, Kieran. I believe this. I fully do.
The state of I used to play around with when I was younger, and I had like base set Charizards and stuff when I was younger.
Yes,
and like
yes,
used,
I know what that is.
Don't get me started on Pokemon.
Used like base set Charizard cards that I know now are worth thousands, and I would just play around with them at school like they were just nothing.
You're a Red Sox fan, right, Lee?
Well, I wouldn't. I mean, I don't really. I'm actually a New York Mets fan, believe it or not. But
You're
I live
a
in
Mets fan. Okay, let me turn to my Mets page then.
But I live in Boston, so if you want to show me a Red Sox player, I won't object. I don't associate myself with most Red Sox fans.
I think I might have more Mets than Red Sox, actually.
Believe it or not, even though I grew up in Texas, I was always a Mets fan.
Oh, no, I lied.
Always a Mets fan. Yeah.
No.
And that's unfortunate because they're in a lot of ways, they're the West Ham of baseball, right? Except they, have won a trophy in my lifetime. But other than that,
I'm storing up. I'm waiting to send a shit ton off to PSA when the pricing comes down, because then it just raises that value. The fact that Costy's got that in a Beckett case with the auto is that's some shit right there. That's
when the pandemic started and we were stuck at home, I got all my old cards out, and they're in literal Ziploc baggies. All right, they're in Ziploc baggies. But my mother brought them down from when my dad died, and my mother moved up here from Texas. She brought all the stuff. She brought all the stuff. So one of the things she brought was my old collection of cards, and I was just like, okay, fine. And I pulled it out and I started looking through, and there's like hardly any players I can even remember in there. It's all a bunch of like kickers for the St. Louis Cardinals and, like utility infielders for the Brewers. It's nobody I've ever heard of. It's the worst collection of cards I've ever seen. It's
You really want to lose some viewers? Boom! Holographic Japanese Charizard, baby.
That's only going to gain us viewers, I would say.
I think it's second edition. It's not the very first one, but
can I just tell you that I had a friend who, as a very much full-grown adult, collected all the Panini stickers for the 2002 World Cup and like kept them in the book for the 2002 World Cup and would buy them like at the newsstand in Paris every day and filled the whole book, which is fine if that's what you want to do. It's just
are we ready to get into Pokemon cards? I'll do that as well.
Oh yeah.
My boys have them. My boys have a lot of Pokemon cards. They
do you know the best thing? The best thing I stumbled across, right? This last thing I'll say on cards, right? The best thing I stumbled across a few months ago. So I knew from my like childhood collection stuff. This is from 2006, 2007.
That's good, Kieran. It's good. Yeah.
These are cards. Yeah. 2006, 2007. These are the first printed of Messi and Ronaldo.
Wow.
Of the Champions League.
Oh wow.
Back then.
That's cool. I tell you,
Barcelona doesn't have a sponsor on that kit.
They didn't for a while.
Yeah, well, no, it did, but I don't think they had the licensing. Ronaldo had the AIG stuff.
No, but they had a sponsorless kit for a while. Barcelona did. So did Real for a while.
When did UNICEF? I would expect UNICEF to be on there, but maybe
I've got a full collection at home. I've only got like a few here, but like Ronaldinho, Rooney from that year, like stuff like that. And I was surprised at how expensive those.
You've been on here before. You know better. You know it. You get about an hour to an hour and a half, and all the football talk just dies, and we talk about stupid stuff. Come on now, you know that. You know us better than that.
Yeah, well, that guy named himself after potatoes, so
we know Epic Hash Time. He's all right. I'm just saying, that it disintegrates into like soft mush at some point. I my card collection is sort of just like a dull bunch of guys nobody's ever heard of. I kept looking through it like, oh, surely there's somebody. Not really.
Now, see, Lee, I haven't done this in a little bit, but I had a bad. I don't know about bad, but I had a phase about a year or two ago where I was going on eBay and I was just looking for the cheapest autograph cards of players that are from my childhood, and so so this book here is a combination of my actual cards from when I was 10 and 11. And then I filled, so every page is a different team. And I filled it in with eBay purchases. And you can get autograph cards for not too much money.
Yeah, you can get them cheap.
So like I've got Kurt Schilling here.
Oh boy.
Steve Finley.
I knew somebody who worked for his company, by the way, that he ran into the ground in Rhode Island. I knew somebody who worked for Kurt Schilling.
He's a mess.
He's a mess. She said he was actually a really good guy, but they just spent freely and they just spent all their money. And it was like lavish.
I've got one for you. They stuck in last year's Prism football set. I've just shared my screen for you, Lee.
Oh, okay. Let me
this guy is even as. Who is this?
He was West Ham.
Yeah, I've never heard of him.
He was West Ham. He was Bartez's backup in 1998.
Yeah, he's also was in.
He was. Wow.
Yes, Bernard Lama was the French keeper for the national team for a while. He was. Okay,
but he's literally. Show my screen again. He's nowhere to be found in this book.
Hang on. I'm slow about this. Sorry. How do I do this? Oh, yeah.
He's nowhere in this.
That's because he never played.
Yeah, but they've got everyone in this. Even Christian Carambeu is in here. They don't.
Carambeu played. By the way, has there ever been
last
anybody?
Time, share my screen. Look how much they're charging for Soufal's auto from one of the sets this year. For Soufal.
That's crazy.
And that's a terrible autograph.
I know. An autograph. That doesn't even look authentic. Anybody could do that. I don't know about that.
Oh no, it is legit. It is a legit thing. I mean, that's nothing compared to what the college basketball players are doing over in America these days. There's a guy that plays, I think, for the Clippers now that was pretty big in the youth scene. He was called Brandon Boston Jr. Sorry, I'm completely ribbing and ruining your stories here.
Is that Bernard Lama?
No, he was a keeper. Brendan Love was a keeper.
I know, but this is after. Maybe
Oh, down
him.
there. Oh, it might
Down
be.
here.
Yeah, that might be. Yeah.
I think that's the only place he has in this book. Anyway,
maybe.
Tom,
Yeah.
continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Brandon Boston Jr. You have to see his auto. This is the kids of today. They just don't care for autographed cards anymore. Look at this. Look at this.
All right.
Wait, it's coming up. It's coming up.
It's coming up. All right, it's coming up. Here we go.
BB. What is that?
That's not even trying. That's not
he
even.
signed all his cards.
Man.
BB.
Who is that?
I don't know.
He played with Bronny and a couple of others at Sierra Canyon High School, and he went like second round draft. He played at Kentucky last year.
But who's paying $250 for that?
Yeah.
Oh,
crazy.
I've got Kurt Schilling's rookie autograph for like $10.
Okay.
Who's paying $250 for who? Brandon Boston? I've never heard of him. Can I just tell you about I'm an NBA guy. I don't know who that is.
Christian Caribou. You know that's his wife. Okay. Adriana Caribou is his wife. He married
That's not I thought that was Pamela Anderson.
No, it's Christian Caribou's wife. Christian Caribou was a fairly mediocre footballer.
Oh, yeah.
Who won like every trophy there was to win.
He almost cost France the championship because he stuck his hand up during a corner.
That's what I'm saying.
Like this, and the ball gently flies by his hand. It could have been the end of the game right
what
there.
I'm saying is Christian Caribou, mediocre footballer, shithouses his way into the French national team, okay? Ends up at Real Madrid. Wins every trophy there is to win in football, and he marries her. That's Christian Caribou. Yeah, he's the luckiest dude ever.
He's like the Eric Dyer of France.
The last one, and then I'm gonna have to dip because I'm so tired. But this is where American money is right now. Is in how much do you think? I've shared my screen, Lee. How much do you think 1 of 1, a PSA 9 LaMelo Ball autograph goes for?
Oh, good lord!
How much you thinking?
1 of 1? 1 of 1?
Yeah, 1 of 1.
It's got to be thousands of dollars, doesn't it?
4,000.
Yeah, I would say that's about right.
Oh my Jesus!
Holy mackerel! Okay,
why?
So that's Australian, but that's gotta be a pretty close.
Just buy a BMW 745. Don't buy that.
LaMelo Ball, for heaven's sake.
Kieran will be able to tell us how expensive I guess that is in thingy, but yeah, it is literally like all
that's 35,000 Australian dollars, more or less. That's 26,000 American dollars. Okay, that's 26,000 American dollars, and your sterling over there, it'd be a little bit less. Because
it's just more, but it's ridiculous how expensive his cards are. It's disgusting. I'm still waiting. My dream is to get at least one Declan Rice autograph because he just signed his first ever card. This literally only, I want to say, for the first time ever, he's only just put his pen on actually signing cards. And I was watching one the other day, and I think it went for close to about 500 quid. But he's never really ever signed his not trading card, but like anything from any collection ever, and he's just started doing it, and they're going for so much money at the moment. It's ridiculous. I think people realize his rise is very meteoric.
So that LaMelo Ball card you showed, Tom, 26 grand in the US. That's almost 20,000 Great British pounds. That is a lot of money. That's a lot of money for a piece of cardboard, frankly, with some fairly mediocre basketball player on it. Although it's 1 of 1, it's like an NFT. It's 1 of 1. It's like you get the only one. It's like the Wu-Tang album that they put out. Then that pharmaceutical guy bought it. Because the pharmaceutical guy raised all the prices on everything. Shkreli, yeah. He bought the only.
I think is in prison for a while.
I believe he's in prison, but he bought the only album, the only Wu-Tang album. They only put out
one
before he lost all his money from.
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly.
So technically, can't Wu-Tang get it back if he's broke now?
Probably. I wish they would, but they probably don't care.
It's probably not a good album, to be fair.
It's probably. I agree with you. It's probably not.
This is one of the first ones he's ever really signed, and there's only 10 of those, and it went for 300 quid.
Wow.
So
wow.
Okay, well, He's worth
if you
so
manage to
much
get the
more than LaMelo Ball. I don't.
Yes, he is
understand.
worth a lot more than LaMelo Ball. Declan
Yeah, it's a
Rice,
lot.
100. It's really funny. Every single day on Twitter, somebody asks a question: how much is Declan Rice worth? 150 million. That's where you start. We're starting at 150 million.
Yep.
That's where you start.
Yep.
Why do you keep asking the question? That's where
And
it starts.
hopefully we don't sell them till Sullivan and Gold are gone because they'll pocket half of it.
That's exactly how I feel. If we're going to sell him, and we will eventually, first of all, let's sell him and not let him walk for a free. All right. But secondly, if we're going to sell him, please let them be gone so that it gets reinvested into the club. Because if they sell him, they'll just take the money.
They'll be gone a year from now.
Yeah, they could be.
Taxes lifted in January.
Is it January? Well, it
right.
could
20 isn't that 2023 is the year where
2023. I don't know if it was January or when it was.
Yeah.
Can you tell me
supposedly
why
Kretinsky's trying to get another billionaire in there.
Can you just tell me quickly why is everybody want Wander Franco cards right now? I don't. That's all I see for baseball is Wander Franco. People want
I have
his
no
rookie
idea.
cards.
I to be honest with you, I could name maybe 2 or 3 Mets players because that's about it. I haven't really paid attention to baseball in a long, long time. I go to minor league games; they're fun. Minor league games are fun.
Well, listen, I'm gonna have to dash it. I'm feeling the pressure of COVID, and I'm gonna have to go check on my amazing fiance who's laughing at her for some stupid shit next door. So,
okay, quickly, predictions for Sunday and Thursday scores. I know it's
Sunday. I'm gonna say. Through gritted teeth, I'm going to say 3-1 Brentford. I really think they're going to turn us over. I know it sounds really, really bad, but I think they're going to turn us over.
It sounds reasonable, I hate to say.
I would, like I said, 1-1, 2-2, anything. I just think that they are going to play at a level, intensity-wise, that we're not willing to match. And I think that's going to do us on Sunday. As for Thursday, I'll be optimistic for Thursday. I reckon if it's going to go to us, it will probably do what Lucas said. I think it will be like 2-1 in extra time or even go to penalties. I think it will be a lot closer than what people think it will be. So
that makes sense. That makes sense.
You're starting to get it. COVID. You've got it through the screen.
I got it from you. Well, I've been sitting 3 inches away from you all night. That's why.
I love how you said that this show was only going to be short, and it's literally nearly 2 hours long.
It's short. Short as anything under 3 hours is a little just a blip. You know, the lives we live are like a vapor anyway. So, all right. Thank you for being with us.
Take care, both of you.
All right, we'll talk to you soon. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, see you later.
It was good talking to you.
Good talking to you, Tom.
All right, Kwastia, I won't hold you for much longer.
Yeah, I have to clean the bathroom and the guest bedroom before I go to bed because it's my daughter's 1-year-old birthday tomorrow, and we're having a big party.
Oh, that's awesome!
The only way I'm allowed to bring my 4-year-old to his second soccer match ever, is if I do the cleaning now. Yeah. Otherwise, he'd have to skip the game so I can do the cleaning in the morning.
Where are you taking him? Where are you taking him?
So he's 4, and I, want him to replace Ben Johnson in 15 years. So of course, I've gone a little far and put him in a league.
Okay.
And he's playing with.
He's playing.
He's in a U6 league.
Okay.
And he's the only 4-year-old.
Awesome.
And it's a bunch of 5- and 6-year-olds. But at that age, honestly, sometimes I wish I lived in England because I know there's no way in Europe they let the little ones play the way we do here, which is we don't give them any direction. And it just becomes like, it's like a cluster, and they're all, and like, honestly, I'm thinking of telling him like, all right, don't even attack. Just sit in front of the goal and play defense because you're really good at that anyways. Like, because there's no spacing, there's no passing.
I know.
It's literally 8 5-year-olds all going for the ball together. There's no goalies. The goals are small.
And let me tell you something. As they get older, it doesn't get much better.
Right.
My 11-year-old plays travel, so he's going out of town tomorrow to play.
Cool.
And that's 7-on-7.
We have 5s at that.
Yeah. With here, first and second grade, they were 4-on-4.
Yeah.
And then they moved to 7-on-7. So my 11-year-old does 7-on-7 travel, and I mean, it's a little more serious because it's, they keep a table and they have playoffs, but it still looks the same way.
Yeah.
I'm coaching my other son's team who is 8, so that's 3rd and 4th grade, so they're between the ages of 8 and 10 approximately.
Yeah.
And that's also 7-on-7, but it is so hard to explain to them the concept of getting into space. Don't chase the ball. Every practice when we do our scrimmages, right?
Yep.
Inevitably, I am running down the center of the pitch. I am standing basically on the penalty spot, saying somebody should be right here. Do you know what I mean? When one team has the ball down there, I mean, you know what I mean?
Because they're not calling offsides at that age.
Well, it wouldn't matter. They wouldn't even be offside. You'll have a kid take the ball all the way down the wing, okay?
Yeah.
And there'll be 6 kids out on the wing. And I'm like, look, if somebody will just come stand here, okay? Somebody just come stand here and you can get the ball in, you can cross the ball in. You're just going to have to tap it in. That's it. But I keep yelling, go to the middle, go to the middle, go to the middle, go to the middle. They never do. They chase the ball.
They even run into their own teammates and
like aren't teammates.
It's
all
terrible.
The time, because all we teach them, all the official sort of curriculum teaches them is like how to handle the ball, which is important, dribbling and crossovers and step overs, all that. But they have no sense of tactics,
Yeah.
And I'm not like a real coach; I'm just a volunteer. But
Sure.
I watch the game enough that I understand concepts like run to space. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So I'm trying to tell them like, just follow your shot. They love to take a shot and then just stand there and watch it,
Yeah.
And I'm like, always follow your shot because it's going to bounce off of somebody, and go, First of all, no, they don't call offside at this age level. But secondly, are offside or not, inevitably ball comes down the wing, go stand in front of the goal. Just stand in front of the goal.
Yeah.
Get the ball over there. They just don't get it. The only
I'm going to start trying to introduce those things to him when he's a little bit older, but he's still 4. Right, like
the one thing,
he's speaking in he's really fast. I had him shooting on goals when he was 2. He can dribble, but even just the idea,
Karen knows
for him, just the idea of going in the correct direction is hard for him, and that's why I've got him in the games now.
I still get that with kids, even 7th and 8th, 3rd and 4th grade kids, 7 and 8 and 9-year-old kids still do that. Yeah.
I'll tell this real quick. Like, I play FIFA a lot on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
And as I know your boys do sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
And he likes to play video games. He's pretty good at some of them. Others he's terrible because he's 4. But he really wanted to play FIFA, and it's just too hard for a 4-year-old. But I set the difficulty to beginner, right? So the computer's really, really bad and slow, and theoretically, like, he should be able to do okay because beginner is like anybody, like a 6-year-old can do okay.
Yes.
But
even I could do it. Yes.
So when you start up FIFA, whenever you get the game, it comes out every year. At the very first time you turn it on, they ask you who your favorite club is. So obviously, I've got West Ham in there,
sure.
And FIFA knows that Millwall's West Ham's rival. So when you go into a quick game, right, kickoff, it's automatically West Ham Millwall, and I'm like, all right, even better because the Millwall players aren't nearly as good as West Ham players. So surely he'll be able to do something, right? I'm like, all right, X is pass, circle is shoot. That's all you really need to know. I put him on. I leave for like a couple minutes. I come back, and Millwall are up 6-0. And I'm like, son, this is unacceptable. How have you gone down 6-0 to freaking Millwall? And so I start to watch him play for a minute, and I realize that he's got no idea what direction he's supposed to go. He just knows that he has to score. What is he doing? He's at kickoff. He's passing the ball back to Rice, then to Dawson, and then to Fabianski, and Fabianski own goals it. And so that's why Millwall was up 6-0. It's because he's just passing it back and then shooting on our own net.
when my boys when they first got their PS4, it was a gift from a family friend, and
Yeah.
a couple of years ago, I guess. And Andrew is 8 now. He was like 6, I think, when we got it. So with him, I would always try to play like he always would choose the clubs based on their shirts, whichever shirts he liked best. But
Sure.
sometimes he chose some lame MLS club or something,
Yeah.
But I always have him try to play as like Barcelona or Real Madrid, and I would play as like Excelsior Rotterdam, or like some French second division club,
Yeah.
and that would keep it. You know what I mean?
That's what I do with.
And it's not that I'm a great player; it's just that he was just beginning, so that would keep it even or more even.
No, that's a good strategy.
Yeah, and I play a Saint Etienne a lot, and they were kind of garbage in FIFA, so that would if you have them play against like Barca, then
it's a little more even. Yeah,
it's a little more even. Yeah. All right. Did you tell us what you think was going to happen?
I'm not full of original ideas because Tom is like pretty much saying what I would say. I think 3-1 was a really good prediction from him. Maybe 2-1, but I do think we lose to Brentford and then we beat Lyon.
I would take that. Yep. Yeah.
I'm not gonna do Lucas's extra time prediction just because I don't want to go to extra time because
I don't either.
We can't handle that.
But Ken was there. Ken's not on tonight, but he was there. I watched the second leg of Sevilla with him, and he'll tell you it almost killed me. So,
no, we just can't do that. So I think we're like fairly angry and motivated about how that game went.
I do too.
I'm so proud of. I saw I think it was like Areola and Zuma were like talking to the ref, like into
they were all over the ref.
And what I find interesting is Areola and Zuma can argue with the ref, as soon as Moyes comes in there and called it awful yellow.
Yep, yellow.
And I'm like, did Moyes like cuss or something that Areola and Zuma did not?
Would a German ref understand him anyway?
Right. That was weird to me. Like, the players can argue when the halftime whistle's been blown, but the manager can't. But I think we're just so upset about that. I know they know Dembele did that wink. Like that's
all
the
you got to
picture I would put.
Absolutely.
I would project that in the training room. I would take picture. I would put flyers of Dembele's wink like everywhere on everybody's locker.
On the inside of their eyelids.
I think we'll end up winning, but I don't think it'll be that high scoring. It'll be like 1-0, 2-1, something like that.
I would love a draw on Sunday. I'm not confident. The only thing that makes me think we have a chance is that, no, actually that's not true. I'm gonna back up. I think we're gonna struggle with Brentford because they play a very similar game to ours. And we don't do well against teams that play a similar game to ours. We lost to Leeds earlier this season, kind of a similar idea. If they counter and we counter, it doesn't work. We usually don't come out on top. I would love a 1-1 draw. A loss would not surprise me at all. However, for Thursday, and this is probably where, I'm going to be completely wrong, so write this down if you want to make fun of me later on. I think we win this game on Thursday, and I think we win it like 2-0 or 3-1. I think it's by more than one goal. I do. Because I think we were the better team 24 hours ago or 36 hours ago.
Sure.
I think our performance was not the best, but we still outplayed them. We scored with 10 men. We were building up maybe to another goal when, this pitch invader.
Don't even
get me started. It was a bad night at London Stadium. All right. And it almost could not have gone worse, but we came through with a draw. And I think we're going to go. I think we're going to go into Lyon. I think we're going to win this thing. Clear goals. I'm not saying we're going to crush them. I'm saying it's a 2-0 or 2-1, maybe a 3. I think it's clear goals. And when we move on, I really believe it. I could be wrong, of course. I never pick us to win, so I'm sorry if I'm jinxing us, but I can't help but feel that way. As soon as the game ended, I said to myself, "We're getting them. We're getting them when we go there."
Yeah,
so
it's hard to make predictions because you do. Like I once on.
Well, you don't know.
I intentionally predicted
Sunday,
I once predicted that Spurs would beat us, and I did that like hoping it would reverse jinx, and it worked. We won.
I usually pick us to lose.
This time, can't do that every time.
I usually pick us to lose because of superstition.
Well, lose Brentford.
But you know what? I'm going to tell you. But I'm going to tell you right now. I genuinely believe that this team if we end up with Barcelona in the semifinal, I mean, that's a tough ask. Okay. Eintracht are not out of it. That was a 1-1 game between the two of them as well. That's different. And then if we listen, let's be honest, if we live in Barcelona, it's just a great moment for West Ham to have been in that fixture. You know what I mean? I don't know that we're getting through them, but I really think we're getting through Lyon. Not that I disrespect them. I think we proved we're better than they are. I think that they did not take advantage of a situation where they had everything go their way. Everything went their way, and they couldn't win. And I don't think they're going to win at home either, personally. I think we're going to have a competent ref. We're not going to have our fans doing stupid things in the 85th minute. We're not going to have this weird, poisonous, toxic atmosphere that seemed to be at that game the other night. It's going to be at their place. Our players are going to be locked in, dialed in, and I feel good about it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I know. I agree. No, I think it's all there for us to take. And
I do too.
We'd have to really screw up and not show up. And I just don't see that happening.
I don't see that happening either. So if I end up being wrong, then all the Lyon fans who are watching can come and give me a hard time. That's fine. I'll deserve it. I don't think there's any Lyon fans watching, but anyway. So who was on? We got all these. Look, Rob's been here all night.
Lucas.
Rob has been here all night. Okay, now we got Lee from Leeds, whose name is a little more than half of the name of his club, right? So that's how that works.
There's the Leeds in Massachusetts.
Is there?
Yeah. Because when I played Division III soccer, I never forget. When I played Division III college soccer, we drove by Massachusetts College of Liberal Arts. I don't even know if you know that.
No, I know. I live here.
It used to be called North Adams State.
Okay, so it's at Western Mass.
Yeah. And we drove by an exit that said Leeds. And our goalkeeper, who's a Man U fan, was like, "Hey lads, you want to go catch a match?" I think it's in Mass. Maybe it's in Vermont, but
who knows? I mean, I don't know much about Western Mass, to be honest. I've never.
Oh, it is in Massachusetts.
Yeah, I've hardly ever been like west of what's the one that 295 that goes to Worcester, or the big loop that Worcester's off of. That's about as far west as I've been. I've never been out to like the Berkshires or any of that stuff. And all the years I've lived here, I've never been out there.
Sure. So I'm trying to. Oh,
this is a great Who album, by the way.
Leeds is actually just north of Northampton and west of Amherst.
Oh, okay. So it's out there.
It's very small.
Yeah, but it's out there. I mean, well, every city or town here is named after someplace in England anyway.
You know what? I don't even think it's its own town. It says it's a village in the western portion of Northampton.
Oh, that's like Bradford. That's like Haverhill. You know, Haverhill, Mass.
Yeah.
A little bit of a rough town, but there's a neighborhood inside Haverhill called Bradford that's like the wealthier area. So if you're from Haverhill, but you're from the Bradford neighborhood, you say you're from Bradford.
Yeah.
You don't say you're from Haverhill, you say I'm from Bradford. So
yeah.
Even though it's not a town, it's just a neighborhood. It's not it's not separate at all.
Thanks to our friend Google here, there's also a Leeds in Alabama. Believe it or not.
Probably not much different from the one in Massachusetts, I'm sure.
No.
I'm sure we'd all feel very much right at home there. All right. So so we've had all these. We have got Leeds and Millwall people all over the chat room. Kieran's been here with us in the chat room, and Mark and James and all kinds of people. We thank you for being here. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw this out one more time. If you guys want to help my friend in the Gambia with his effort to start his West Ham Gambia Youth Club, I'm going to throw the link out one more time. A lot of people have donated, and I really appreciate it. It's a personal thing. It's not an American Hammers TV thing. It's just me. He's a great kid. Loves West Ham. Goes to his friend's house to watch every game because he doesn't have a TV at his house. He's got to go to a friend's house to watch every game. So also goes to his friend's house to call me because he has no Wi-Fi at his house. He's got to go to the house with the Wi-Fi.
Is Gambia francophone?
No, it's actually it was actually colonized by the British. It is a little tiny strip of a country surrounded by Senegal. Now Senegal is francophone.
Yeah.
But the Gambia is a little strip that runs along a river up into Senegal, and it's English speaking. So he's
2.5 million people.
Very small.
Yeah.
Very small. Anyway, who else was with us, Kostya? We had Tom, of course.
Phil and Lucas.
And we had Lucas, who's down in Austin, not eating barbecue or Mexican food because I don't know. He seems to have gone completely.
He's
insane.
still young. He'll learn.
He will. Well, he should because he's missing a great opportunity. And anyway, also thanks to you for coming in. It's good to see
Absolutely.
you as always. And in case you forgot, it's coming back on. Yeah, Lucas said it was.
Yeah, we're gonna do Sunday, just so that we're after the game, and we have.
Okay.
We'll probably be on like 3 or 4 p.m. US, 8 or 9 UK.
Okay.
With
So,
myself, Lucas, Alan, Jeppa, and controversial Twitter figure, and our friend Charlie Walsh.
Hey, Charlie never comes on my show anymore, so I'm glad somebody gets Charlie Walsh.
Yeah.
Alan, I don't know how you say his last name. Zeppa?
I think it's Jeppa.
Okay.
You don't
Polish.
even say the
Polish?
R.
He's Polish, right?
He's Polish.
Okay. I don't know how. I can't pronounce. That's a language I can't do anything with.
Yeah.
Yes, he's controversial, but he's good on the show.
You know, he rubs people the wrong way, but you know, sometimes, not everybody, but at the end of the day, he's a good kid and he's just young and
he is a good kid. He is. People on Twitter are not always as they are in real life.
Yeah.
I
don't know if you listen to West Ham Fan TV has a podcast that they do now.
Yes.
And he was on their second episode, and they basically like had a restorative conference about what had occurred on Twitter. I don't know if you're familiar, but they healed that relationship.
I stay out of Twitter beefs. I stay out.
Yeah,
of Twitter beefs.
so
if I can, I try.
Everybody,
yeah.
I don't want to take us too much time here. But,
no, I understand.
Basically, Alan like tweeted something really negative.
Yeah.
About all the issues at the club, and he attached a picture of West Ham Fan TV.
Oh, I remember that. I remember that. Yeah, for a second. Yeah.
Yeah, and what he was actually trying to do is the clip or like the picture was from when we lost to Astra Juju.
Oh Lord. Oh,
and mercy. So he was trying to tie those things together, but they didn't. They took that the wrong way, and I'm not going to go into more of it. It spiraled a little bit.
They freaked out.
But they talked it out, and they're okay now. So
good. Yeah. That makes me happy. I don't like dissension and rancor.
No, because we're all rooting for the same team.
Because we have to be together. Because I mean, I wouldn't say nobody likes us, but a lot of people don't like us. So we have to stick together. Yeah. And Kieran, yes, absolutely. So Tuesday mornings, Eastern time. I think it's about 10 o'clock in the morning. I think it's 10 a.m. Eastern time. Which is a very convenient, actually, 3 p.m. in the UK or in England, 3 p.m. in London. Tim's doing a show now.
I know.
She's having different guests on every week.
It's like Tuesday morning or something.
It's Tuesday morning at 10. I've been watching it, listening to it. I was on the first one, and I've been watching it since then, and it's really good. It's really good. He's back hosting. You know, he brings a lot of hot takes. So yeah, we're ramping stuff back up. You know, for a while we really had trouble getting stuff produced, but now we've got Tim committed again. We're working on some other things like game shows and stuff like that, bringing those back. Yeah. You got your show, in case you forgot. Katie's been back on Thursday nights. Mm-hmm. So you know what? I should always say that. I always forget to say this. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please do, and please tell your friends. That helps us a lot. So. Anyway, my prediction, since I forgot to, did I give you a prediction? No, I did give you a prediction. All right. Doesn't matter. All right.
I don't remember it. It's 2 hours.
I think I'm going to be.
Oh, wait. No, you did.
Extremely optimistic.
You want to draw a 1-1 draw, and then we're going to win 3-1.
Extreme optimism from me. Yeah. It's very rare, so be ready for a disaster. All right. So, yeah. So check out Kostya and Lucas and everybody on Sunday after the game. And keep your bells on so you know when we're on. And you too, my friend. Have a great weekend. I will, I'll be on Sunday morning. I will be teaching Sunday school on Sunday morning. So I will have to come home and watch the game after it is finished, which I often have to do. I don't go on social media. I don't do anything. I just come home. You know what I mean? Experience it and then go from there. In the meantime, thanks for being with us. And come on, you Irons.
Irons.